kind of leverage is not going to be used at this particular moment and not at this stage in this crisis.
And that's BBC's Tom Bateman reporting. Dock workers have struck East and Gulf Coast ports that handle about half the nation's shipping cargo. It raises the specter of shortages and higher prices for goods should it be a prolonged walkout.
The International Longshoremen's Association is demanding significantly higher wages. The union also wants a total ban on the automation of cranes, gates, and container-moving trucks that are used in the loading and unloading of freight at 36 U.S. ports. Those ports handle roughly half of the nation's cargo from ships. The contract with the Maritime Alliance, which represents the ports, expires on Tuesday. The two sides haven't held negotiations since June. I'm Norman Hall.
It will be their one and only debate of the campaign. Vice presidential candidates J.D. Vance and Tim Walz share the stage tonight in New York. The Salem Radio Network and the Salem News Channel offering a simulcast of this evening's CBS News vice presidential debate. Watching Wall Street, the Dow futures down 126 points. NASDAQ futures 3 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-504-8790. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-504-8790. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-504-8790.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center, may not be available in all states.
NATO has a new leader.
NATO's Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg has stepped down, leaving the world's biggest security organisation in the control of former Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte. The handover comes as the alliance confronts some of its biggest challenges in its history. With reporters, Rutte expressed concern over the situation in Lebanon.
And of course we hope that the hostilities will end as soon as possible.
Rutte says his priorities will be ensuring NATO's continued support for Ukraine in its war against Russia, increasing defence spending and boosting partnerships the alliance has around the world. He insists he'll be able to work equally well with whoever becomes the next president of the US. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Rescuers searching for people still missing and trying to recover bodies of those killed in weekend flooding and landslides in Nepal. The death toll has climbed to 224, and 24 people reported missing are still unaccounted for. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Hurricane Helene death toll across the South stands at 133, but it's feared it will rise as hundreds of people are still unaccounted for, especially hard-hit the mountain communities of western North Carolina.
People in Asheville, North Carolina are adjusting to life after the arrival of powerful Hurricane Helene. Carrie Owenby went to a neighbor's home, one of the few that still has electricity to charge her cell phone.
We haven't had power, water, very low on food. Hardly any stores are open. There's no gas.
She says the hospital has no running water. Somerville Johnson says her family is adapting to make this work.
Sounds like it's going to be a couple weeks before water and another 5 days before power.
Several main roads into Asheville were washed away or blocked by mudslides, including a 4-mile section of Interstate 40. I'm Ed Donahue.
The line fire continues to rage in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
'Tis Tuesday.
Tis a breezy Tuesday.
Tis cooler.
Quite nice outside. Actually, it seems like the sun was a lot later this morning too.
Yeah, sun was like kind of blurry-eyed and said, "I'm going to sleep in," or it had a late night last night. The sun, and so it's kind of a little groggy this morning. That's a good. The sun be groggy.
Yeah, had a few too many. Forgot to take its prebiotic.
That's right. But happy Fair Day, Day 2.
Day 2. It is Special Needs Day
and Ride 'em Cowboy.
And Ride 'em Cowboy Day.
Yes.
So you get admission and a ride wristband for $25.
Yes.
Today.
And that started at 5?
I believe the Midway opens up at 4.
Okay, 4.
Yeah.
I was like 4 or 5. I couldn't.
Yeah, Midway, commercial building and things. I think the commercial building opens up at noon.
Yes.
And all the other outbuildings. And then the Midway, the Fair Midway opens up at 4 o'clock.
That's right.
To 11.
And, of course, livestock shows, they start bright and early, beginning like 8 in the morning, pretty much daily out at Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I invite you to be out there and watch the shows and enjoy all the festivities. But if you can't, or if you have out-of-town friends and family, we are streaming livestock shows all week. Log on to ksvptv.com.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the actual Eastern New Mexico State Fair page there. And Viola. There's all your shows and stuff right there.
Viola, Steve, Jerry, all y'all. KSVPTV.com.
I know it's Voila. I'm just joking.
You know what I like to do at the fair? So I like to walk the Midway because I'm not a rider necessarily. There's a few I'll get on, but I like to ride rides, or I like to walk by rides and then like talk flirtatiously to them. Like, I want to be on you.
You spin me all kinds of places.
Maybe walk up and give one a good smack, you know. It's inappropriate in certain circles, but if nobody's looking.
You take me so high.
Nobody's looking. Give the tilt-a-whirl a little pat on the booty.
There you go. I'll see you later.
Hey, how are you? But of course, commercial building opened up, like we said, at noon. All the livestock pavilions open up around the same time.
Yeah. Actually, because tonight with the Ride 'em Cowboy and all the ride stuff, tonight is actually the only night they won't have a live concert out on the main stage and everything tonight. But every other night, it's music on.
Yeah.
So, but there'll still be lots of other entertainment going on. Magician,
the comedy hypnotist,
comedy, all that stuff.
The human cannonball, which I love. I mean, I like the human cannonball idea. I just wish we could have done it the other way. We've talked about it, but the guy in front of Cannonball or Cannon, catching Cannonball to belly. Again, I don't know if that's still a thing.
Well, I here's the thing. Only footage I ever see of that
is black and white.
Is old timey, and so I think that those people in that career field don't have what we call longevity.
I don't even know what you call it. Cannonball catching.
I think it's just called dumb. I believe that's the word
called dangerous. I believe. Round shot or cannonballs have been replaced by modern shells. Although that would be rather entertaining. Let's just shell a guy.
Right. They rifle it now too.
We bring in each event. We bring in a team of 30 people. The best part is we only leave with 2.
That's right. We put a nuclear warhead on it. Catch this. Man.
Poison tipped, turns out. But yeah, so the cannonball thing is the thing of the past. But the human cannonball is waiting for you over at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
There you go. So if you're out there enjoying, I don't know, chicken on a stick, and you just see some guy fly across that guy going, ah, that's what that is.
Either that's the human cannonball, or security is really good this year. I didn't do anything wrong.
What they feeding the birds around here? I can just picture like a scene from a TV show. Some guy's just walking down like the midway, got like a corn dog or a chicken on a stick. He's just diddy bopping in the back of the seat. Guy go,
that's either the human cannonball or somebody threw off the Emperor's Groove.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But but go have some fun today out there. The weather's a little cooler. So you know how that means. Cooler weather means you're going to be out and about trucking and having more fun out
I have to go dust off my hoodie.
That's right. Sean will be out there later today.
I'll be out from 5 to 8 p.m. Broadcasting live inside the Big Blue Brand Wagon. I believe, weather permitting, we will have the TVs affixed to the vehicle.
Excellent.
So that you can watch the livestock shows that happen throughout that day.
Okay.
I think on the other screen, I think on the other screen we're going to have like one of the football games playing.
Okay.
One of the ones where we won. One of the better ones.
This one was coached by Newt Rockney back in 52. No, oh, you meant our football game.
Ours, yeah.
We were going to show Rudy.
You have Bambi going. It's right in front of that little out building where like, they keep like the lambs and stuff in there.
It's just like, you know, if we do that, there's going to be like a half dozen dudes like weeping in front of the trailer.
Just walk by, single tear.
Right. And then you want to get a few more, throw Shawshank up on the other side. It's like, why are these men all crying at the fair? Oh, they're showing Rudy on the TV. All right, let me give you a rundown for today's show. We got a full slate for you today. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to have Robert Sherman join us with Walker Aviation Museum, pop in for his monthly visit. I believe we haven't spoken with him since they had Museum Day. So we'll kind of get the rundown on how Museum Day went for them and get an update on what's going on there at the museum. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have Amy McVeigh-Tejas join us with the Historical Society for Southeast Mexico. We might also have Board President Jason Garcia as well. We're going to be focusing on fair. Tomorrow is Senior Day, 3 to 6 tomorrow.
And Dollar Ride Day.
Man, even better.
That's right.
So drop off the kids, and then you go jam out over Senior Day.
Yeah, take a dump first, then go to Senior Day.
But drop the kids off at the pool. That was the reference.
It's the reference.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the pool.
And a clean pair of shorts.
And but the Historical Society is sponsoring Senior Day, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happening out at Senior Day this year. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to have Jason and the Allisons. I'm going to go with that, like a band.
The Allisons?
Jason Allison out from Allisons, and I think some of his family.
Okay.
Somebody's going to say Jason and the Allisons.
Jason and the Allisons. I like it.
Going to join us from Allison's Home Supply here, and I believe today, because we talked a lot about flooring and that side, because that's what generally most people think of when they think of, the work they do, flooring, carpet, cleaning, but they do kitchen and bathroom models. They do all kind of stuff. Ooh. So we're going to talk cabinets and countertops today.
Nice.
So that's our theme with Jason and the Allisons. God, that's a band.
It is. If you guys want to pick up some like folk instruments, maybe one of you learn the mandolin.
Yeah,
I think you guys could go places with.
I got to hard sell them that today.
But they got to get Adrian on. It's like they're like announcer. To
yeah.
bring him up on
because he's got the whole British thing going.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So bring him out on stage. This next band rocks the road so hard that they broke the heel stomping.
But I'm going to see. I think they're going to be down to Allison's. Maybe. And for some weird reason, someone needs to have a mandolin in this band.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So in my head, I picture like the band Perry.
Yes,
like a very traditional, like maybe one guy on pedal steel in the back.
Yeah.
Got the mandolin up front.
Yeah.
That's that kind of like more traditional kind of, not country sound, but Americana.
Almost folksy, yeah.
Triple A.
Yeah. Yeah, it could slip into any of those.
Like a John Denver-esque
right.
style. Mm-hmm.
But a family of them.
Mm-hmm. All of them in bowl cuts.
Like the Beatles. Even the kids.
And the mom.
Everybody. All right, I think we went too far. All right, it is 7:15. Let's get the hour going. Here is your weather. Cooler today, not tomorrow.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be a little gusty today. We have a dry cold front moving through the area. We will have sunshine and it'll be slightly cooler. At least we'll stay below the 90-degree mark. Looks like mid to upper 80s, but that wind will be gusty at around 30 miles an hour. Overnight looks clear, low to mid 50s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, our high in the upper 80s. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 61 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 31%. Winds currently out of the north at 17 miles per hour. Yeah, in case you had noticed, it is a little bit breezy out there this morning. With those breezes, bringing in cooler temps today. Sunny, high of only 85 expected. Winds will be out of the north 15 to 20. Good news is these winds will be decreasing as the morning progresses. Wind should be down 5 to 10 miles per hour later this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 55 degrees. Winds will be out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. For your Wednesday, sunny skies, 89 for a high tomorrow. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny skies back into the low 90s, 93 for a high on Thursday with south winds 5 to 10. Friday, sunny skies and a high right at 90. And then for the weekend, Saturday, the final day of the fair. 89 and sunny, and then sunny on Sunday sunny on Sunday as well, with highs right around 90, and then looks like 88 is what they're talking Monday and next week. So after today, kind of expecting right around 90 for the rest of the week here. All right, it is 17 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We're gonna have your Roswell livestock report with Smiley Wooten, the recap, also your Ballard and Lagrone remembrance for today as well. And then on the other side, we'll have Robert Sherman join us here with Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,979 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold steady to 8 higher, feeder cattle 2 to 4 lower, packer cows 5 higher, packer bulls $10 higher, 3 to 400 pound steers $336, $356, 3 to 400 pound heifers $283, $302. 4 to 500 pound steers $292, $336. 4 to 500 pound heifers $262, $283. 5 to 600 pound steers $256, $292. 5 to 600 pound heifers $229, $262. 6 to 700 pound steers $243, $256. 6 to 700 pound heifers $224 and a quarter, $229. 7 to 800 pound steers $225, $243. 7 to 800 pound heifers $209, $224 and a quarter. Packer cows at $118, $126. Canner and cutter cows $107, $110. Packer bulls $145, $157. Feeder bulls $120, $125. Top half the cow calf pairs $2,050 to $2,425 per pair. Top half the bred cows $1,525 to $1,950 per head. Now, remember, this is the top of the market, and prices range down from this according to quality, quantity, condition, and feel. We do appreciate the business. We'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra is warming up for their 66th season, and you're invited to opening night with KO Plays Elgar, Saturday, October 12th, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Brahms' Academic Festival Overture and Elgar's Concerto for Cello and Orchestra bookends the world premiere of Bucolic Celebration, written by Southeast New Mexico's own Mark Del Porto. Tickets are available now online at roswellsymphony.org or at the door. Get your tickets now, then come be a part of opening night of the historic 66th season of the Roswell Symphony Orchestra, sponsored in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
What? My trade's gotta be worth more than this! Hey, Roswell and surrounding areas, don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Right now, the all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. That means you'll get top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR or no payments till 2025. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand financed on select models. No payments till 2025. Subject to lender approval through Ford credit. Offers not combined.
Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel have been celebrating life for over 90 years. Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory celebrates and remembers Donald Burden Sr. passed away September 14th. Rosary will be Saturday, October 5th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Virginia Gibson passed away September 14th. Visitation is Monday, September 23rd, 4 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary will be Tuesday, September 24th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Letty Lee Bagwell passed away September 15th. Visitation is Saturday, September 28th, 10 a.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Service following visitation at 1 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Elizabeth Stefano passed away September 8th. No services are scheduled at this time. Oturo Ornelas passed away September 16th. Visitation is Sunday, September 22nd from 4 to 9 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary to follow Sunday, September 22nd, 6 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Kelly Keith passed away September 9th. Graveside service will be Thursday, September 26th, 10 a.m. at McBride Veteran Cemetery. LaGrone Funeral Chapel celebrates and remembers Peter Morris, passed away September 9th. Visitation will be Monday, September 23rd, 10 a.m., with service following the visitation, 11 a.m. at LaGrone Funeral Chapel. John Groover passed away September 11th. No services are scheduled at this time. And Joanne Worthington passed away September 12th. No services are scheduled at this time. This has been today's remembrance, brought to you by Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting them in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Good deal.
Yeah, it was going to be Doug sitting here, so I was going to give him the message. Doug, drive careful. He's on the way to Rio Doso.
All right.
Up to see the cattle bearing up there.
We'll bring us back some moisture and a sandwich.
There you go.
Please. Very good. Of course, folks, if you're not familiar, the Walker Aviation Museum is located inside our Roswell Air Terminal, the airport. And it is a museum that celebrates the military base, of course, Walker Air Force Base, Roswell Army Airfield prior to that. That's where it was home, where that airport sits, and of course celebrates its role that we've served during World War II, and then also the museum celebrates those first early years of the Cold War, where Roswell, this area, served as home to many of the early generation intercontinental ballistic missiles here, and then so it kind of celebrates that history. And now kind of also turns its focus on the future in encouraging and promoting STEM-related career fields, obviously in the aviation industry, promoting those as well, too. So that in a nutshell is kind of what the museum's all about.
Yeah, that's and toward the end of the program today, I'm going to just run through again just a quick review of that history that sometimes, it's kind of good to review and kind of remember some of the little details that happened during those 26 years that the base was open.
Absolutely. Well, and it's kind of, like I said, we'll get to this toward the end, but this museum, yes, we celebrate the missions that this base served during its time in operation, but really that museum focuses more on the life, the people, that called the base home.
Right,
It's as much about the history and the memory of the baseball teams and the various clubs and activities that took place on the base as it is on who served what and where and when and for how long and all that. So that's why I like it. It's kind of that mix of both there, where you get the life side of it. But like you said, we get so wrapped up in that too, we forget that, as far as serving in the big scope of World War II, this area played a major role. I mean, when you talk about the air offensive in Europe and certainly Asia, Roswell was the tip of the spear in the training all those folks that were doing that stuff.
That's right. We could have a lot of information, which we have some, about the different organizations during World War II, like over 8th Air Force, for example, in England, and missions flown by B-24s and stuff. You say, well, what does that have to do with Walker Air Force Base? Well, during the war, World War II, they trained about 14,000 advanced pilots, multi-engine pilots, and bombardiers. And then those people left Roswell or Walker or Roswell Army Airfield at the time and went straight over to Europe and flew in those organizations. So you might have a little poster there like, well, what does that have to do with, well, those men flying in bombardiers and pilots flying in those aircraft came from Roswell.
This is a very timely thing for those young folks that don't realize, but on Apple Plus, go watch that Masters of the Air show. That it's kind of the Band of Brothers series.
Yeah,
that'll show you exactly what these guys were doing after they left Roswell.
That's true. I'm, I talked in the past about some books that I kind of recommended that I found very interesting about the war and stuff. Countdown 1945 by Chris Wallace. And Enola Gay, that book by Gordon Thomas and Max Morgan Witz. Then World War II, the 100, ranking 100 most influential figures of World War II. Those are interesting. But a recent book I read that I kind of ignored and pushed aside because I probably thought the titles were kind of weird.
Okay.
And that's Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard's books on killing Patton, killing Reagan, killing Lincoln, those books. And actually,
I've read the Lincoln one.
I just finished reading Killing Patton, and it was just kind of like, of course, it wasn't just about why or how Patton died. It's things going on during World War II, and you'd have a chapter, and it would say the location, the time, the date, and it would be like, wow, that's kind of talk about in Moscow what Stalin was doing as far as Christmas stuff. And after you got through reading that chapter, you go, wow, that was interesting. I didn't know that,
Sure.
There's a lot of stuff throughout that book on the
Things
European
that make you
War.
go,
the European War. So I'm getting ready to read Killing the Rising Sun.
Okay.
How American Vanquished World War II Japan. And I'm sure that'll involve some of the 509th and the atomic bomb stuff.
Absolutely.
So, but I just read that book, and I just remember I was telling my wife, I said, it's just... by chapter, you'll read it and you go, wow, that was interesting information. I never heard that before.
Sure.
So
and when it comes to World War II stuff and reading, you kind of, at some point, you start seeing a lot of the same stuff.
That's true. By the way, we had some interesting visitors. I'll talk here in just a minute about Museum Day. But,
sure.
Recently, we had a lady call up, and she wanted to bring her pet chicken to the museum.
All right.
And this chicken was actually her pet chicken. She just sit there and look around.
Is it like a emotional support chicken? Or
yeah, I guess she writes a children's book.
Okay.
And this chicken.
And the chicken's a
so
character?
She took some pictures of the chicken sitting by the flight simulators.
Okay.
Chicken sitting by some other displays and said, and she had a name for the chicken. I forget.
Okay. So she's using chicken and then like telling stories about the chicken adventures to making
chicken
kids' books
adventures,
out of it.
and this was to the Walker.
So it's kind of a
museum and stuff.
Creating a story out of real life with the chicken.
Yeah.
Cool. That was nifty. That's a good little fun
Big
thing.
sign as you walk into the terminal that says no animals allowed except service dogs.
So we had to call it an emotionally
But they kind of made an
chicken.
exception. Let that little chicken come in.
So it's a service chicken now.
It was real calm. It just sat around, whatever.
It's used to being handled, and
yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Probably. Well, cool.
You know, for about 2 days after that, I didn't feel like eating any chicken sandwiches.
But then someone was grilling some, and he smelled it and said, "All right, I'm ready."
Pet chicken, yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the problem. It smells too delicious when it's cooking.
By the way, yeah, on the
we'll have to look for that story online, maybe, or that book. See if
me too. Yeah. Oh, just since we're talking about that stuff, had a lady call, and her name is Jennifer Chan. She's from Taiwan.
Okay.
And she's bringing a photographer and I guess someone else that writes the book, and they're doing some research and stuff on the UFO.
Okay.
And when she first sent it to me, bless her heart, she said, I'm here to talk about the UFO that happened in 1974.
I think she flipped the date
there.
So
I wrote her back and I said, I think you mean 1947.
Yeah, I was like, what happened in 74?
Bless her heart. So anyway, she's coming in on Friday and wants to kind of take some pictures, and just as far as the military part, if she wants to talk UFO stuff, I tell her, there's a place right down on Main Street you want to go.
I know some people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're all intertied together.
That's right.
And that base is always going to be intertwined in that too.
So anyway, we're going to, I guess, host that. Let's see what happens on that.
Well, that's always fun.
Roswell Museum Day was a really success. And I know they're not listening because they're probably in school. Well, getting ready to go to school. But since we weren't being able to let kids fly the flight simulators, we had some signs up and say, if you want to fly these, this is who you text. That's me.
Okay.
And we'll set up an appointment, and we'll come out with your church group or your school group or your classroom or whatever.
So if you really want to do it, get a hold of me and we'll make this happen.
Because these actually take about 10 minutes of orientation before you just let somebody get on
this isn't your Xbox or whatever. You sit down, turn it on, and start going. This is a training device.
Yeah, it's Lockheed software, and flies 50 different airplanes and land at any airport in the world, and has about 30 scenarios of different stuff you can do with it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we had a lot of folks come. We figure probably 2 to 3 times as many as we had the previous year.
That's great.
And I think, they had adults fit out these little tickets for winning prizes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you would have a man and a woman come in and fill out a ticket, and they actually had their husband there and 3 kids. So we had 165 tickets.
But
we think it's probably maybe,
2 to 3 times that.
Yeah, maybe 300, but not always. But there was 3 or 4 times during that 8 hours that I was working that I looked around the museum, and there was about 30, 35 people in there.
And once, if you've never been, once you see the size of the museum, you're going to be like, wow, 35 people?
Yeah, they were standing on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, it's not a lot of acreage there.
No,
it's
not.
a lot packed in that small area, though.
But the thing that really helped us was Doug Weiser, our president. He's a manager of Pasta Cafe. That's another advantage, to have the new president being the manager of the Pasta Cafe and Cattle Baron. Guess where we have little quick meetings?
That's right. Bare minimum, a pizza every meeting.
Absolutely. Pasta Cafe, I recommend the Godfather Pizza. You get to pick the 6 items that you want to put on the pizza.
Well, you're the boss. Huh? As the Godfather, you're the boss.
That's right. You tell him. Okay,
forget about it.
So anyway, what he organized was he got 4 young adult ladies to come in from First Tee.
Oh, excellent. That's a great program.
A lot of them play, golf on the golf team at Goddard or Roswell, whatever.
It brings the sport of golf to these young children.
Yeah.
And but through that, they teach these kids life lessons and things and help them, become better people.
They came in, they had 2 shifts of 2 girls, and they came in, and what they did was we bought a bunch of paper airplane books from Amazon.
Okay.
And had all these weird, colorful, pictures. When they folded up into an airplane, it really looked like a real jet, or it had eyes of a dinosaur.
So it was coordinated to give it a slick paint job and everything.
So they were there in this table and making paper airplanes for the kids. So there's little paper airplanes flying all over the lobby out there during this. It was kind of between
That's
flights.
cool, though.
It wasn't anything. No, yeah, it was fun. So they were making paper airplanes, and the kids could come up and have maybe 10 or 15 to pick from, and they'd pick one and go out there and fly the paper airplanes around. Anyway,
if you didn't realize, there was a solid 2 years of my childhood where I had some friends that was pretty much our day. We'd get like those big thick Sears catalogs from like Christmas time and all, you know, that are like this big mammoth books. And one of my friends, he was an expert paper airplane maker. He'd make all different designs, and we'd literally, like our roofs of our house, there was at least a half dozen paper airplanes up there until the wind finally hit and blew them all off. But yeah, or the rain would soak them in and then they get stuck up there. But yeah, I love that idea. I could spend a day just goofing around, making paper airplanes and throwing around the lobby of the air terminal. How great would that be? But anyway, sorry, it just reminded me of a childhood memory.
No, I know. my childhood memory was dealing with kind of like this subject, but my dad he could make kites. He made kites himself. We had big box kites we'd fly. And we lived at 1209 North Kentucky, and there was a vacant lot right next to me. But anyway, we would, the wind come from the southwest, and we'd get that kite, it'd be up there so high. Probably, now that I think about it, people flying around in their Cessnas, that's probably like, what is this doing at my altitude?
Right.
You know? Probably wasn't the right thing to do. Anyway, but we flew kites a lot. But he would just make them from scratch with paper and glue them and stuff. And
I always found the best kites always were the most cheapo ones, like that one that was in that bin at the like Allsups or whatever when you want it. Like those things I could get flying in a heartbeat. Those like convoluted box kites and everything. I had a heck of a time getting them things up.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a little sidetracked. Let's get back to Museum Day.
So Museum Day, we had a winner. We picked for our little thing, and then we turned in we had probably the majority of the people came to the Walker Museum last, and then when that happened, then we could tear off the little bottom strip. So we turn it into the Roswell Museum at 5 o'clock when we closed, and at 5:30 they drew the winner. And
they had all these folks that were going around that if they went to each museum and got their passport stamped. Once they're at their last location, they tore off the bottom section and they got entered into a drawing to win a gift basket that had like hundreds of dollars of gift cards and
it was about $700 value. Yeah,
and so they were all kind of scrambling at the end there to get those turned in so they could get in on the drawing.
Yep, that was true. And so anyway, we had a lot of fun with that, and the girls from the first tee really made it easy for us, and it was really fun.
So they were kind of the keeping the glue, keeping everything together.
Also, little tiny kids, instead of being totally bored about it, the parents could be looking around, and the other little kids would be over by the table with the paper airplanes.
See, they were the positive distraction. Very cool. But I'm glad you got to see about double what you saw the first year, which was great. Which means the Museum Day experience in of itself was bigger, and I'm willing to bet. I know the Historical Society had a great group of people. I'm willing to guess all the other 5 museums
and the
did too
advantage
as
of
well.
that, if you get your passport on that day only, you could get into the UFO Museum free.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because everybody was free.
Yeah,
but you had to have a passport.
Well, and they weren't. Yeah, they weren't advertised. Like you couldn't get the passport at the UFO Museum on that day because they are the one museum that charges. And to be honest, that's for the out-of-town folks. Museum Day is for local folks. So what they're doing, they don't want out-of-town folks to get in for free because that's how they make money and that's how they stay open. That's how the whole capitalism thing works.
Right.
But at the same time, they wanted chances for locals to come in. But you could have gone on there at other days. But anyway, if you had the passport, you got in for free. But they didn't really advertise it there because they didn't want out-of-towners to get in and take advantage of a local thing.
That's true.
So that's kind of what was going on there. But everyone else, they had them the whole time and all that. But if you missed out for it, look here again, probably in the September, August time frame next year. Be on the lookout for Museum Day 2025.
Yeah, it'll be on a Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Usually about 10 to 5 or 9 to 5.
And I like it too because it's 7 museums, and who knows, if
Yeah, a lot of people didn't realize in Roswell 7 museums. Really? Yeah. Seriously.
Well, and like one of the more museums that are slept on a little bit is the McBride Museum at the New Mexico Military Institute because it's on campus. It's
kind of harder to get to than
and unless your day-to-day life involves the campus, you know it's not on your radar so much.
Yeah.
But I mean that museum is really cool because at least for me, because I mean you see life of what NMMI has been like for cadets, you know, through the ages and all that. But like if you've never seen a Medal of Honor before, an actual Medal of Honor, they got one in there. Those are very rare, folks. Those just don't willy hang around places. You know, that's not very many people see one of those up close in person in life, Medal of Honor. And the sad part is the people that are awarded them 9 times out of 10 aren't usually alive to see the receive. I mean, there's a few, but not many. Most Medal of Honor winners win it, you know, after they're already passed. So.
By the way, on like we already mentioned, where we're located, just within actually paper airplane flying distance to the TSA check-in areas where we're located.
They tested it.
We're right there. Also, we're open about 2.5 hours prior to the midday airline departure in that time frame, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
And you just go to a website, aa.com, which is American Airlines, and you just go down and you hit flight status. And then you can just put, it comes up and gives you, well, where you're taking off and where you're going to. You just put ROW for Roswell to DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth, and it'll show you the takeoff times. Now, a while back, the takeoff time was like 11 something. Right now it's 12:07.
Okay.
So it changes almost monthly, but it's just a few minutes plus or minus.
Right.
And
but you figure on the lunch tower.
So we're open for about 9:30, 9:45 till about 12:15, something like that.
There you go. So about
Monday through Friday.
Now here's the thing. If you like to volunteer, if you want to serve as part of the Walker Aviation Museum, we got many different roles there. But if you want to serve as a docent, as a volunteer, more docents, more volunteers means we can expand those hours and make and even expand it outside the flight schedule there at the airport. Maybe we can have just set hours 9 to 5 Monday through Friday if we get enough volunteers and things like that.
Right.
But if you're interested and want to see more of that, please reach out to the board. Go to the website and let's get your feet dirty and get in here and let's do some stuff.
Right now, myself or Bob Donnell go out there on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, so we kind of divide up. I'm going out Monday and Friday this week, and he's going out today, Tuesday. Stephen Miller joined a group. He holds down the fort on Wednesdays.
Okay.
And Allie Bishop, our treasurer, she holds down the museum on Thursdays. So.
Okay.
Anyway, that kind of... Oh, by the way, our board members, myself, of course, Allie Bishop is our treasurer. Katie Yates, Sandy Correa. She was a president up until August 2024, September 23 to August.
So now she's what, emeritus or whatever?
Yeah, Bob Donnell. He, again, is a volunteer there. Juliana Halverson, Jerry Cloffer, Friar Jodek Norwalki, Stephen Miller, we already mentioned that, he's on Wednesdays. Doug Weiser, our new president as of September, and he'll be the president until August of 2025. Peggy Boland, who works with science a lot. She's part of that. And our brand new member is a really great guy, is Josh Bootson. And he works with the New Mexico Workforce Connection.
So welcome.
Out at the college area. So.
Very good. So Josh is our newest, but looking for more volunteers, more people that would willing to serve. I invite you to check out the Walker Air Force Base Museum's website.
That's right. Actually, WAFB, Walker Air Force Base, WAFBmuseum.org.
Yep. And there you can find all the information we talked about here. But if you'd like to donate financially, there is a donate now button and everything there to help. Our
membership too is
membership's another way to get involved.
$25 for a student, $75 for a family, seniors $45, veteran $30.
Of course, if you want to access all the STEM and career field side of the museum, you'll find all that information at Walker Air Force Base Museum's website there too.
Yeah, under education.
Yes, under the
Matter
education.
Matter of fact, we have a little sheet we pass out to people. And we bring a group in of 8, and we have them for about 3 hours, and that lets each person get on the flight simulator for about 30 minutes. But then we also show 12 STEM careers off of YouTube, plus one on how to select a career. And
there's a picture. No,
Venn diagram. Anyway, yeah, that's all accessible on a smartphone by just going to the website and clicking on education. And you can go down, and it's set up, thanks to Julian Halverson, that you can actually play all those videos. And you can play 38 professional pilot training videos. And we get people in and we ask them, you got any grandkids or kids that are 12 to 18 years old? And matter of fact, yesterday I had a lady says, yeah, my son he's 16 and he really wants to be a pilot. So I showed him the website. I said, there's 38 professional pilot videos, all the ground school stuff right there. And she goes, wow, you'll really go for that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Good
just
deal.
a lot of things you can do just by going on a computer or going on your iPhone, and you can access that information.
And trust me, for those kids looking, they desperately need more and more qualified people in the industry, from pilots to mechanics to air traffic controllers to people.
Matter of fact, that's why we didn't, I think, that's what I heard anyway, that, we had our 2 flights going to Phoenix, and they just don't have enough pilots in American Airlines and stuff, because I think those planes are flying pretty full back and forth.
Yeah. COVID, they had a huge turnover of people during that because of COVID, and they have not caught up from that yet. And that's
right.
So you're looking for a career where you can write your own ticket and make pretty good living doing it. Maybe check out that Walker Aviation Museum's website, wafbmuseum.org.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Do you want to talk the little history here?
Yeah, a quick little history?
Yeah.
Okay, war was looming. It hadn't started yet. The United States decided it should better train 30,000 more pilots. And Walker was not an initial pilot training base. It was a pilots that had just finished pilot training, but then they were getting ready to transition into multi-engine aircraft.
Okay, so they went from
so they came
single
here
to big,
as
big
a
boys.
Brand new graduate pilot. They came to Walker.
So they knew
Roswell
stick and
Army
throttle,
Airfield.
but that's about it. Right?
And they flew the little AT-11s, which is a little twin engine. At the same time, they had in the nose of that thing, they could have a bombardier. So during World War II, Roswell Army Airfield trained 14,000, like I mentioned earlier, 14,000 pilots and bombardiers total right out of here until the war was over. Then it quit being a training base and became a bomber base.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, were they also training the rest of the crew, the gunners and navigators and all that here?
As far as I know, it was just
pilots and bombardiers?
Bombardiers and pilots,
Okay.
So they had we actually had 7 squadrons of advanced pilot training by the end of the war, and 5 squadrons of bombardier training.
Because really, if I remember right, really your only officers on the crew are your pilot, co-pilot, your bombardier, and your navigator, right?
Yeah.
The rest are enlisted. They're on a gun or...
Yeah. I know my dad almost became a tail gunner on a B-29, but he was a B-29 crew chief, but he ended up staying there. But they were looking for people to be tail gunners and stuff, But anyway. Okay, so Roswell was selected as one of the new bases there in 1941. $9 million construction started in February 42 and on 4,624 acres provided by David Chesser, a local rancher. Again, pilot training was advanced pilot training in multi-engine aircraft. And
so they were learning tactics, like evation tactics, diving flak, putting out fires in the engines and things like that if one catches fire. Because, by the way, if an engine catches fire, how do they put it out? They dive. But they teach them all that stuff.
Yeah. Peak strength during World War II at Roswell Army Airfield was 8,616 personnel as far as trainers and just running the base, not the students. And those are 14,000 of those. 1942 to September 42 through April 43, about 1,000 glider pilots served as a glider replacement pool at Roswell Army Airfield.
Now that's what those guys drew the short straw as far as assignments in World War II.
March to April 43, 42 Chinese students trained in the B-25s here at Roswell Army Airfield, so they had some B-25s here for a period of time. So, again, August 6, 1945, the 509th Composite Group B-29 Nola Gay, piloted by Paul Tibbets, dropped the enriched uranium bomb in Hiroshima, Japan, and he returned to Roswell Army Field later to Walker. But a lot of people think that those planes that dropped the atomic bombs came from Roswell, and that's not true. They came out of
now they've been here,
Utah, and
but they
stuff,
weren't assigned here. They've landed and did stuff here, but they weren't assigned to this.
Yeah. So the 509th, including the Nola Gay boxcar, moved to Roswell Army Airfield and became the nucleus of the Atomic Strike Force for Strategic Air Command in May 1946. The 393rd, 715th, 830th Bomb Squadrons, and they came into Roswell, and the 509th ended up moving back over to Pease Air Force Base, New Hampshire in 1958 during the Cold War.
Okay.
Strategic Air Command was activated as a retaliatory bombardment organization in March 21st, 1946. In the summer of 46, Roswell Army Airfield, the 509th participated in multiple atomic test missions in the Marshall Islands called Operations Crossroad, where they dropped some atomic bombs from the aircraft.
Okay.
UFO incident occurred in 47.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Army Air Corps became the United States Air Force in September 18th, 1947.
That's when it went.
The
Air Force was its own thing.
Named after General Kenneth N. Walker, a native of the northern part of New Mexico, just up there near Santa Fe. But he was flying the San Antonio Rose B-17 and got shot down over Papua New Guinea. He's still missing in action, but he was given that after he was killed. But he was one of 4 officers that devised the what they call War Plans Division-1, a blueprint for the imminent strategic air war against Germany. And so they did that in the Pentagon. So he was really important for developing the actual strategic bombing plans for World War II. So I think that's one of the reasons he got Congressional Medal of Honor, other than just going missing.
Sure.
As a general officer, yeah.
His contributions to...
Actually, he wasn't supposed to be in the airplane.
I was about to say, that's the thing, is not too many generals are doing those kinds of things.
Yeah.
They're usually behind a desk somewhere.
General MacArthur actually told him, stay at your office, stay in your desk.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't think so.
Yeah.
He was flying as a passenger on that plane.
Well, and you can't...
Because he went with his guys. How can I,
Well, when that man was a young man child, he wasn't dreaming about being a general. He's dreaming about being a pilot.
That's right. That's right.
That's all I'm saying.
So, Walker was up and going during the Korean War, and we actually had a fighter squadron called the 58th Fighter Squadron was here with, end up with a F-89 Scorpion. It was modified and it was armed with atomic-tipped air-to-air missiles to defend the U.S. desert Southwest bomber invasion from the border with Mexico.
So they were on security.
Yeah, and those little atomic bomb, and they made lots of those. Those would destroy a bomber if they went off within.
So they probably had alert aircraft, and usually when that works out, because they have live ordnance and things, they'll park those way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it was in Hangar 91.
Yeah.
And they just stayed there, and if the doors open, they would taxi them away.
Yeah, they literally fire them up
really
and roll
close.
out and go.
Yeah, right.
They got to be up in the air within minutes.
Of course, with that, with our bombers here, it wasn't the only atomic weapons on the base.
Oh, yeah. There was a few down below.
Yeah. So the 579th Missile Squadron, the Atlas F missiles that were 12 silos surrounding Roswell, and of course we had B-52s on alert. Those were all on alert during the Cuban Missile Crisis of October 16th through the 28th, 1962. And that's probably one of the scariest times of World War II.
Harry, 2 weeks or whatever? The total sports was it 14 days or whatever total? 13 days, whatever it was. Yeah.
We had those were finally retired pretty quickly. They had 3 Atlas silos blow up during propellant loading exercises. No loss of life. One guy was injured by running into a barbed wire fence trying to get away. Other than that, no injuries, luckily. But when they were building the silos, quite a few people were killed when one of the silos had a collapse. And
Oh, I'm
stuff.
sure. Yeah. That's the dangerous part, is digging these holes, and it's like it's no different than coal mining or whatever. When they dig those tunnels, sometimes the tunnel collapses.
So they closed it down in 65, and they went to the solid fuel, Minuteman missile type. So,
which is much safer than those early versions.
Yeah. So Walker had AT-11s, BT-13s, BT-15s, 17s for training, B-25, B-29s, B-50As, B-36, B-47, B-52s, KB-29s, KB-50s, and KC-97, KC-135 were tankers, and then the F-89 Scorpion.
And that's why
a whole bunch of different airplanes assigned to.
And that's why that runway is so gosh darn big out
there. That's right. So they closed in 1967 to meet some congressional budgetary limits to deal with the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
Also, some side notes of Roswell, because of the altitude and the temperatures, and high temperatures, sometimes the reduced pretty significantly the takeoff maximum payload of a KC-135 tanker. I didn't realize that, about 40,000 pounds.
Wow.
Less. Anyway.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
It's very, those numbers got to be just right for some of these aircraft to get off the ground.
Well, come and see us. We're open Monday through Friday, middle of the day. Oh, we have a new phone number.
Oh, very good.
What is that number? I think it's 575-755, and then U.S. Air Force.
Ooh.
So
it's gonna make your Army vet volunteers mad.
Since we went, with Plateau, we had to change the first three numbers. I think it's 755, and then the last is USAF.
Okay.
And you can figure out what that number is.
Cool. Good deal. So if you need to call, of course, you can always go online to the website, wafbmuseum.org.
That's right.
Find all that information there as well. Or better yet, come by Monday through Friday, anytime between like 9 and 12:30 or so, and odds are pretty good you'll pop in and see the museum's open and come have a chat.
That's right.
And a visit. Good deal. Do we get it all?
I think so for now.
Excellent. Well, thank you, sir, as always, and we'll see you all next month, or if it's Doug. Or
Doug Weiser, I think, will be here next month.
Very good. Tell him to bring a pizza.
Okay.
Just kidding.
I know.
But thank you. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. All right. It is 7:58. Let's do news before more news. Don't go away.
And now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia General Hospital recently implemented MindRay medical monitors throughout the hospital with the goal of improving patient safety and observability. The monitors can track a range of vital signs like heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, respiratory rate, and your temperature. They play a critical role in the healthcare setting and provide accurate real-time data that clinicians need to make informed decisions. By providing continuous real-time data, these new MindRay monitors ensure that healthcare providers can swiftly respond to any changes in a patient's condition. A New Mexico judge has ordered the armorer for the Alec Baldwin movie Rust to remain in prison despite evidence uncovered during Baldwin's trial. Armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed asked a court to reconsider her involuntary manslaughter conviction after the criminal case against Baldwin was thrown out, after prosecutors withheld evidence from the defense. Judge Mary Marlowe Sommer halted and ended Baldwin's trial in July based on misconduct of police and prosecutors and their withholding evidence from the defense in the 2021 shooting of cinematographer Halina Hutchins on the set outside Santa Fe. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
I'm Rich Thomason. The strike is on.
What they need to do is pay these men and women a fair wage.
Dock workers from ports to Maine to Texas striking over wages and workplace automation. It could drive prices higher and lead to shortages of goods if it isn't resolved relatively soon. Israel has sent troops into southern Lebanon. The BBC's Yolande Nell in Jerusalem.
Israel's government has pledged to make it safe for tens of thousands of its citizens to return to their homes after nearly a year of cross-border fighting, which began with Hezbollah firing rockets at the start of the war in Gaza. The Lebanese armed group is known to have extensive tunnel networks as well as bunkers and other military infrastructure. While Israel has been emboldened by its recent military successes against Hezbollah, a ground offensive opens a new, potentially dangerous stage.
The vice presidential candidates will make their case to the voters tonight. White House correspondent Greg Clugston in New York.
Tonight's debate is the only scheduled face-to-face encounter between the two vice presidential nominees. With no more presidential debates on the schedule before the election, the VP debate could be the 2024 campaign's final major primetime event. With the two campaigns in a virtual tie and the unpredictable nature of this contest, tonight's undercard between Vance and Walz could matter more than most VP debates. Greg Clugston, New York.
The Salem Radio Network and the Salem News Channel will offer a simulcast of this evening's CBS News vice presidential debate. The Hurricane Helene death toll is up to at least 133 across a half dozen southern states, although hundreds of people are still unaccounted for. Stocks sharply lower this morning on Wall Street. The Dow down 253. The Nasdaq is off 208 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
From Birch Gold.
Australian federal police are investigating protesters who waved Hezbollah banners at rallies in a couple of cities recently.
A small number of Hezbollah flags were seized by the police at pro-Palestinian rallies in Australia over the weekend. Displaying the symbol can be a crime if it's likely to incite religious or political hatred and violence. The Foreign Minister Penny Wong said any indication of support for Hezbollah, which is a proscribed terrorist organisation in Australia, was a threat to national security. Rally organisers have insisted that only a minority of protesters had openly expressed support for the militant group.
The BBC's Phil Mercer in Sydney. Officials in Thailand say a bus carrying young students and their teachers caught fire outside Bangkok. 23 of those on board are feared dead. The bus was carrying 44 passengers. Townhall.com. How to keep urban landscapes looking neat and tidy? Well, some cities are going old school, and folks seem to enjoy it.
Munching their way through green spaces in urban areas, sheep and goats are becoming a trendy sight in some cities. The use of grazing animals to control vegetation, not a new idea, but some cities consider the critters as one tool to deal with several modern land management problems. The Nashville Chew Crew, which includes hundreds of sheep, spend months in the city's parks chopping through weeds and brush and are very popular with residents and the tourists. Jason Walker reporting.
Big League Baseball great Pete Rose has died. A longtime Cincinnati Red and the baseball's hitting king passed away yesterday. Pete Rose was 83 years old. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio, I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy, oh so happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes. Wake me up when September ends. It is officially the first day of October.
Yeah.
And I must wish a happy 6th birthday to my son, Hunter.
Ah, the Hunter is
Hunter the Hungry.
the big 6-0 today, or big 06 today.
Big 06.
Yeah, big 6-0.
His
Big
back's-
06 today.
His back's really doing a number now. But he's 6 years old. He was super excited to go to school today because he gets cupcakes.
Yeah, but say, isn't it like a rule that you get cupcakes and stuff at school on your birthday?
So apparently, they have to be store bought. Like I didn't know that.
Because of
I mean, it makes sense.
allergies and
you know,
everybody's allergic to everything nowadays.
anything that could be in somebody's home.
Right.
So it makes sense. So Mom got him some cupcakes and took those with him when she took him to school this morning.
Nice.
He was all excited. All the kids were singing happy birthday to him. And,
Oh, yeah, he's the center of attention, man.
Yeah.
He's the star of the day for today. He might even get a pass on like homework or something. Who knows? I don't know if they give him favors.
That would be cool. Because that's what you don't understand. Like, kindergarten homework really becomes dad homework. It's like I have to hover and make sure everything he's doing is the correct way to do it.
Absolutely.
And so it's
you got to teach him how to do homework.
Yeah, but that's cutting into mommy time. And especially on a week like this. I mean, that's
this is a busy week with fair going on, and of course, all the other things that normally happen this time of year with football and everything else. It's just busy.
I'll be making my exit here in the next few minutes because it's Special Needs Day. I got to meet my kid over at
you're
at the
going out to the fair, and
Mhm.
daddy-daughter morning out at the fair today.
Yeah, let her ride some
That'll be cool.
rides, and I'll be the guy holding the purse or whatever she has.
I'm very curious now because I know Rhiannon is very particular when it comes to food selections. How does she do at the fair?
Well, so I packed her a lunch just in case.
Okay.
Just some stuff that I know she likes. But generally speaking, if it's like beige and deep fried, she's
American. She'll eat anything you put in a lather of grease for a little bit.
She likes cowboy fries.
Okay.
The spiral chips.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really tried her on a lot of different fair food, but
how does she feel about funnel cake?
The couple of times she's had it and or tried it, she likes it.
Okay. And I'm assuming, does she like ice cream?
She does like ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the places we will be hitting is the ice cream.
I gotta be
chain.
honest. If there's a kid on this planet that doesn't like ice cream, we need to take them to a psychiatrist or something. Something's not right there.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
And I understand some kids because of the cold or whatever. We were able to parlay her love of Oreos into cookies and cream ice cream, and so it just that hand in hand.
Maybe that's your
itself.
vessel, ice cream.
Mhm.
Hey, try these Tyson chicken nuggets. Put it in this ice cream.
This ice cream.
No, they're just like the other
How about
ones.
some arugula ice cream? Yes. Yeah, no. Still no. Okay. Yeah, because that's the thing is cookies and cream or nothing else.
You know what goes good in ice cream? Tilapia.
She did tell me the other day, and again, I mentioned this on stage at Comedy to the Rescue. I don't have to promote it anymore. But
You can, you just don't have to.
My kid says some of the most earnest things, but they're just genuinely hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
She says her two favorite restaurants in Roswell is a toss-up between Chili's and Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, wow.
I said, well, what do you like from Texas Roadhouse? She said, they're chicken strips.
Okay.
It's okay, what do you like from Chili's? Their sauce. What sauce? Ketchup. Rhiannon.
It's the same ketchup. It's in any other.
Universal.
Yeah.
Ketchup is universal.
I'm sure they use Heinz or Hunt's or whatever.
She means their chicken too, but she didn't want to answer the same thing, so she thought on her head,
right,
on her toes or whatever.
Pretty much, just your place has good chicken strips.
Yeah.
So I bet she would love chicken on a stick.
Yeah, probably. She actually probably would enjoy that. There's a place called the Cotton Patch.
Okay.
In Hobbs.
Okay.
It's like kind of a fancy-ish restaurant.
Okay.
She loves going there because they have really good chicken strips. So, I mean, it's pretty much as long as you like find a place that has some decent strips.
She's good to go.
We're good to go. Yeah.
Have she had like these places known like you're Raising Cane's or places that like that's what they do is sell chicken strips pretty much?
Not really.
I've never had one yet, so I don't know. I was curious. I don't know the big deal yet on Raising Cane's.
She did kind of backsass me a little bit on Popeyes strips because I guess they were a little spicy.
Oh,
now granted, that's that Louisiana style.
Sure, a little Cajun,
little Cajun in the rub,
yeah.
But so yeah, I haven't had Popeyes in a while. but other than that, I mean, yeah, she's.
And I know you're a fan of their scrimp.
I am. I love it. I do love it. But yes, I'll be strapping some cash just to make sure she does want to actually try something. We'll go for that.
Although I know when we talked with, I can't remember which interview it was. It may have been Travis in our general, but I think all those booths and stuff will handle your cards and stuff. They've got technology to handle your debits and credits.
Sure,
and so
for the most part. Yeah.
So if you don't have a cashola and you still want something to nibble on, they got.
I really don't like using the square like the.
No, I get you, but but if you're in a pinch.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, 100%.
I ain't got time to be stopping no ATM or finding ATM, whatever. Yeah.
Especially not with fair ATM fees.
And you don't feel like going to the grocery store to buy Tic Tacs and get $20 cash back.
Well, that was the plan.
I'll take the one with Retson. Yes.
Yes.
You.
Ooh, Retson's back. Everything old is new again. Love that.
But that'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
Are the rides open during this time?
Yes, that's like the main thing is
so she can go ride.
They can go do some.
Is there a couple she's got to like? If you asked her, is like a couple she's like wanting to try or anything?
Well, a lot of the traditional ones. She likes the carousel, the cars, things like that. I'd like to try her on the Tilt-A-Whirl this year.
Okay,
like me and her, just try to see if she can handle that. I think she can. I think that one's low and slow enough that I think she could deal.
Okay. Hey, see if you can win us a Coke mirror for the back here.
Yeah. Right? I got my eyes on an AC/DC Back in Black.
That or, maybe a Bon Jovi.
The problem with the Megadeth Coke mirror is it's all too it's etched way too tight. So you lose a lot in the cracks and crevices.
Right. Yeah. And that Aerosmith logo was very ornate too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. Actually, go with like Blondie because it was just like kind of a silhouette-y kind of thing. It wasn't not a lot of going on that mirror.
What's funny is I don't remember a lot of I didn't play a lot of games at the fair, carnival, or whatever because I knew pretty early on that they were set up for me to fail. The one or two prizes that I do remember getting, I remember one of them was the fair after 9/11.
Okay.
It was either that one or the year after.
All right.
Because the prize that I got was, that ghetto cardboard white frame with a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Osama bin Laden bent over with a nuclear warhead right behind him. And it said Osama bend over. Was the name of the art piece. I picked it out.
Because you're a patriot,
sir. Back. I'm the one that picked that out. But I do remember
different time,
it was a different time. A very caricatured cartoon Osama bin Laden.
Yeah. I imagine. I need to because of because cannabis has been legal and everything. I imagine there's heavy cannabis related in the mirrors and the accoutrement.
There was that before.
Yeah,
I always remember a couple.
But I mean, I just feel like now it's out in the open.
Right, but I don't. Well, that's the thing. I don't think they're going to be dispensing out there.
No. Well,
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure consumption on.
Well, I know at least one of the companies is out because I saw their social media that they had their trailer and they were going to be out at the
probably.
fair.
Well, they're probably handing out, like the card, well, their business cards, obviously, but they have those the baggies of like
the CBD lotions,
the
and,
lip balm, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So exactly. nudge. But yeah, I would think that on the site, the fairgrounds itself, that you can't consume.
No, but if you want to buy, I gotta imagine there's just got to be those places that are selling like bongs and various pipes.
Well,
and
that's what I'm
hookahs
saying.
and
Like in
tangs.
years past, like where the food row is, there was always these like 2 or 3, those little outcrop like tent places that would sell like rollers and like
got
papers, stuff like that. But you always see them because they have those big tapestries, and like it'd be like a pot leaf or Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Or
the universal symbols.
What's the other one?
The fist.
No, the fist. But what's that guy? His name literally just left my head. But
Bob Ross.
No, the revolution guy. It's gonna drive me insane.
Nelson Mandela.
Not Mandela. No, it was the Cuban guy. I can't remember.
Castro.
Okay. Stop saying names. You're making it worse.
Well, say it.
I'm trying. Give us the rundown. I'll try to remember. Oh my gosh, what is his name?
Okay, I'm just good. Now I want to just say names.
Well, no, don't leave it dead air. That's gonna kill me.
Now I'm just like Jose Canseco, Billy Bob Thornton, Judge Reinhold.
All right, now I'm about to jump over this console. Not Pol
Antonio
Pot.
Banderas.
Oh, that is Che Guevara. Che Guevara.
Okay.
That was gonna drive me absolutely insane. But you see the tapestries with Che Guevara,
yes.
things like that. Those were the tents that you go to. You're like, okay, they're friends. They're green friendly.
Right.
Oh, that hurt.
Bodega.
Oh,
that was fun.
That hurt my brain. Yeah, when you just shouting out names, that sent my brain into overload.
Good times. All right.
And to fight all the urges to go, stop doing the thing you're doing.
Oh man, our guest is on her way. That was 4 minutos ago, so she should be almost here in just a second. Amy McVeigh is going to join us at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico.
Yes.
I think she's flying solo today, but might have Jason Garcia join her. We're going to talk about Senior Day at the fair tomorrow. Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico sponsoring Senior Day out at Eastern New Mexico State Fair. So we'll talk about that. Plus, we'll slip in a plug for some of the other things going on through the Historical Society as well.
If I'm not mistaken, I shouldn't say without asking first, but they should. I'm pretty sure they're offering the free shuttling around the fairgrounds. For
That's
seniors as well.
we're going to have. I believe the New Mexico Military Institute has provided carts or I don't know if they're golf
shuttle
carts
service,
or,
and then they're also going to have the train running.
Yeah, that I'm not sure on the train, but I know they're going to have the shuttles back and forth.
Okay,
so.
in past years they've done the train too, but
And they might, but I don't know.
Right.
I can't definitively say yes or no on that one, but I can on the carts. So, so we'll talk about that, and and I'll have and it's not all day tomorrow. I believe it's 3 to 6, but we'll get that tomorrow there, and then you can come out and they'll have stuff just for seniors and eats and festivities,
and that'll parlay into dollar ride night. So if you get in as a senior, you can enjoy some dollar rides after.
There you go. That's right. And
The way
then,
it used to be.
That's right. Concerts and then all that kind of stuff too. And then it's gonna be a fun night of fair. And I'm actually looking at the weather. I think we're gonna be rain free all week.
You had to say it. You let the meteorologist say it. We just hope and pray. Thoughts and prayers are all we have, Mike.
Well, here's the thing. I think a fair needs at least one rain to make it a good fair. Now, it can happen overnight. It doesn't have to happen during popular times of fair. But a good overnight rain at the fair, chef's kiss on fair.
Fair enough. But speaking as someone who parlays a lot in electronics,
yes,
I say I poo-poo your suggestion.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But it sure makes it a lot less dusty out there.
Fun fact. I will say fun, or just a life lesson to take this in the future. If your laptop ever gets rained on or wet, don't try to power it on afterwards.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
Was that 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
Basically.
And Gene has never let us forget about
Yeah.
it.
That basically our trailer got turned into soup. And all of our electronics got wet, and the computers and then they tried to fire them up, and I think there was a minor explosion.
Well, the motherboard, yes.
Yeah, it was.
The motherboard said, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. And but basically, yeah. So but good news is we said, you know what? Maybe we should fix some leaks in this trailer.
True, and possibly also upgrade some laptops.
That's right.
Pretty sure we were still running XP on one.
You know
of those.
what? Don't tell the big guy.
Okay.
But if we need equipment, maybe that's what we got to do.
I have
It's
said
like,
this.
Big Gulp City.
I have said this out loud, and with all due respect, you should not shop for radio production and broadcast equipment at the e-waste disposal event.
You ain't wrong
It's
on
not
that.
the best place to shop.
He has years of this. He's done this. I'll never forget. And I think to this day, there's still every once in a while we're dealing with the after effects of this one.
Mm-hmm.
1 year at that e-waste event, someone dropped off what had to be 1 to 200 of these Ethernet cords. These blue Ethernet cords.
Oh, the blue ones. Okay.
Yes, there was at least like 100 in various lengths. 3 feet, 4 feet, 50 feet. There was different lengths. And Gene was like, well, shoot, this is delightful. Great. Drop them up. We'll use them because we plug in. For the next 2 to 3 years, these things were hit and miss. One would work, one wouldn't, and you'd be at ball games. Crap. The Ethernet cable's not working. Yeah.
Why do we still even have this
And that was the conversation. Why is it still in the room? And then they throw it on the floor, and then it gets back in the pile.
Right, so he picks it up.
It was this endless cycle of these blue things. And you know what? Most humans would have learned a lesson there.
Sure.
Not our boss.
No.
No. Next year, he's back. That laptop's perfectly fine. Every year, that man walks out of there with something. If it's a laptop, if it's speakers, it's something.
Well, it's because in his head, he's like, okay, I know the person that can fix this problem.
Yeah.
I know somebody who can fix exactly what's wrong with this. So in his head, he's thinking, okay, well, I'll make 5 phone calls and I've got all new equipment or refurbs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No. It's like, bite the bullet. Buy new ones. They're not that expensive.
One time for like 6 years, you'll be good.
One day. I'm going to assume the phone call was our guest. Yes, very good. All right, it is 8:23. Let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be a little gusty today. We have a dry cold front moving through the area. We will have sunshine and it'll be slightly cooler. At least we'll stay below the 90-degree mark. Looks like mid to upper 80s, but that wind will be gusty at around 30 miles an hour. Overnight looks clear, low to mid 50s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, our high in the upper 80s. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 62 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity currently at 29%. Winds a little breezy out of the north at 18 miles per hour. Yeah, my tree outside is waving howdy to me as we speak. For today, sunny skies and a high of 85 degrees, so a little cooler today. These winds actually will die down this afternoon. 15 to 20 out of the north this morning, but winds will tap down 5 to 10 for this afternoon here. Mostly clear tonight, looking at an overnight low of 55 degrees, winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny skies, looking at a high of 89 tomorrow, winds out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 56, south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 93 for a high on Thursday with south winds 5 to 10. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies and a high right around 90. And then for the weekend, sunny and 89 for Saturday, sunny and 90 on Sunday. So there you go, your weather here. So overall, pretty good weather for fair this week, I think. And as a matter of fact, where yesterday was a little warm, today's going to be not as a little warm. So I think might even be a little nicer, especially by the afternoon when the winds tamp down and all that. I think it's going to be a delightful afternoon out at the fair today. All right, it is 8:25. We're going to take a commercial break here, and then on the other side, we'll have Amy McVeigh-Tejas join us with the historical side for Southeast New Mexico, talk about Senior Day out at the fair tomorrow, and just other things happening with the Historical Society. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate, the scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays, a stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes, and insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. They salute the hardworking 4-H and FFA kids for striving to be the best every day. As farmers and ranchers themselves, the crew at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply know the hard work that goes into making farming and agriculture what it is today. And from Everyone's a Winner program to actually investing in these future farmers and ranchers during the Junior Livestock Sale, Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is proud to support the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply. Stop by today, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:27, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh-Tejas back with us this morning. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good deal. Good deal. So, yes, Fair Week. Another beautiful day for fair. Invite folks to come on out. Of course, it's Ride 'em Cowboy Night. For all you aficionados of the carnival, you can get discount unlimited ride armbands when you ride the rides tonight here. So take advantage of that. This will be because of Ride 'em Cowboy Night. This is actually the only night at the fair where they won't have a major concert on the stage tonight because they don't want you to distract from the riding. So, but other than that, every other night, including last night, and then of course the rest of the nights out at the fair, they're gonna have concerts every night out on the stage, which, by the way, is included into your admission into the fair. You get into the fair, the concerts are all part of that here. Later in the week, about Friday, they're going to do the Ranch Rodeo and all that, again, included into your fair admission. So if you're into Ranch Rodeo Friday and Saturday, those are your 2 days you're going to want to spend the most amount of time out on the fairgrounds here. But tomorrow is Senior Day.
Yay!
And the Historical Society said, we'd like to sponsor this. We'd like to help make this happen for this year's Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
Sure.
So tomorrow, now it's not all day tomorrow. Is it 3 to 6?
3 to 6.
3 to 6 tomorrow. Seniors get in free, and we have special events and activities planned for seniors during that window tomorrow. Big thank you to the New Mexico Military Institute. They are kind enough to help us. It's kind of nice when your board president works over there. It does help.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
But thanks to them, we're able to provide carts to get folks from the gate to the commercial building and all the places they need to get to and all that.
That's right. Well, and we're really excited. I think this is the 3rd or 4th year we've had the privilege of working directly with Michelle Hembry and the Arts and Crafts Building. I know last year we did some fun things. One year we did some displays and different things. So every year she's evolving. They're evolving. The amazing team is evolving. I'm always excited to see what they're going to do next.
Absolutely.
But she reached out to us, and we just embraced this project. So a couple of things that we're going to be offering tomorrow tomorrow between 3 and 6. We'll be in the Arts and Crafts building. We will be selling some fun books. We will even offer some autographs. I don't know if John will be there the whole time, but we will be happy to work with people.
He'll be there for a portion of it.
Yes, that's right. And then also we've got some fun goodie bags, some nice handled bags that you can put your groceries in. Those are while supplies last. So we've got Historical Society bags. We've got healthy snacks and fun things in the bags. A lot of fun things. Thank
Y'all
you,
don't know
Excel
Amy.
Energy.
Y'all don't know Amy. Amy
goodness.
just blesses and gives people. That's her. You don't leave an Amy event without a swag bag. That's just what she does.
Okay, so some fun things. That's right. So shout out to New Mexico Military Institute, ROTC.
Yeah.
Wow. Some really cool things. But then also, God bless Andrea at the Roswell Chamber. She called, I called her and she was all in, of course. Well, Mike, we got some fun blessings that we had to call and say, what is this?
Okay. All right. Now, my curiosity is piqued.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so it was some fun things.
Okay.
You're going to have to come
Surprise,
out and see
fun
what
things.
it is.
All right. We're not letting
You're going to stare at
we're not
it
letting
and
this one
think
out the
some
bag.
things like a whistle, and it's not a whistle. Okay. So it's fun. It's fun. Some fun things. So huge shout out to the Roswell Chamber of Commerce.
So if you see some seniors walking around town Wednesday afternoon holding these things trying to do this, we know what happened.
Give us a call. We'll explain. It's some really cool things. Maybe some others are going to just pick it up and say, oh, I know, but it's some really fun, cool swag. So we've got treats, we've got healthy snacks, we've got apples, we've got energy bars, or granola bars and fun things like that. We will have ice cold water for the seniors also, and all of that is while supplies last. Excel Energy, shout out to them. They were really nice to add in, and we've been working with some other companies just to offer some fun things.
Absolutely, and folks, don't if senior day or not, make sure you do not leave that fair without a trip to the education building and seeing all the cool things and stuff that's
and thank
in
you
there.
for mentioning that, because we have our great display in the educational building. Got a great display. Huge shout out to Elaine Mayfield and Stacy Rocha. We were up there sweating at it and doing it and getting it done. So we had a lot of fun with the theme. And huge shout out to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair for the theme. We had a lot of fun. So the greatest show in New Mexico to us is celebrating a lot of amazing shows over the last 100 years.
Absolutely.
So a lot of fun images and a lot of fun things.
Yeah,
with that.
This is. I was talking a lot last week, and I'm not going to get too soapboxy like I was before, but I was talking, and yes, the fair week, and yes, we want all the families to come out and ride the rides and eat all the food and run around through the commercial building and do all the cool things that are going on there. But also remember why we have this fair and what the real reason is. And the real reason why this fair is happening is what's going on in the livestock show ring and what's going on in that education building. That's the heartbeat of this county. We're educating and creating a foundation for the future youth that are going to be the ones running and working the farming and ranching industry in the next generations. And they're going to have. You think farmers and ranchers have problems now? Wait till the ones these kids are going to be facing in their time.
That's true.
We got to equip them. So these fairs are doing our part to equip and strengthen these kids to prepare them for the future. So that's what we're doing here. That's what it's all about. So please pay homage to that by coming to the education building and see the hard work. If you got time, go watch a livestock show. It really doesn't matter which one it is. They're all entertaining. But if you really want some fun laughs, pigs and cows always bring the laughs, just saying.
I'm always in for the bunnies. So, hey,
rabbits and chickens.
Rabbits.
But I laugh hard because pigs do what pigs want to do.
Oh,
and you get a bunch of kids out there and they got their little boards and they're trying to wrangle them and they do eventually, but it's a losing battle sometimes.
Oh, yes. We've been there and done that. Hey, Dr. Wonderful, Dr. Craig Walker, if you're listening, he got us into something and we were clearly way in over our heads. But I'm going to tell you something. I was born and raised here. So this will be over 50 years I've been going to the fair. But the experience I thought I'd had, we all say, been there and done that. No, we haven't.
Yeah.
Not to the level of many individuals, whether you're an FFA or whatever, that spend day in and day out working with those animals, doing what they're doing, high respect. And hey, we made sell. Now we didn't make sell. We made sell at the county fair. But I think there's, stand by these kids and talk to them about what it is their dreams and aspirations are, because and I think there's something to be learned regarding honor and integrity and what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get your hands dirty and you work hard towards something and you rise above circumstances and not this entitlement perspective that they're in to get their hands dirty and put in the work.
Absolutely.
And I respect each and every one of them doing what they're doing and
Absolutely.
helping those of us like myself that clearly have no idea. But you know what? The Pierces of the world, the Skylar Pierces, are there to lift you up and show you what they're doing and how to do it. So,
Absolutely.
Also, the Arts and Crafts Building. So tomorrow night from 3 to 6, that's where we're going to be. We're going to be in the Arts and Crafts Building.
Yes.
And there's so much to be said in that building, too. I'm obviously in the artistic background of things.
Say hi to my boss.
Oh,
he's there all week.
Yes,
He's in there in the model railroaders
and
the trains and
he
all
was,
that.
He texted me the other night. He was working on the menu. Now, where do I go? What do I eat? You know, and I love that. Hey, so shout out to Gene. And
Yeah,
we'll
he's living
take
at the
him
fair this week. He's doing his morning show from out there.
Oh, that
he's
is
literally
really
he's like
cool.
on a Zoom thing, and he's got one of our Jeffrey for folks. He's in the studio in Artesia, getting his guests set up, and he's doing through Zoom, and he's literally
That's really
living
cool.
in the
Good for
at
him.
the fair this week.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
So we will give him a shout out. So I think go to every building, whether it is the commercial building, the arts and crafts building, and see these animals and just really celebrate. You know, every time I go out there and we see the name Hobson on buildings, that means something to us. And there's one of hundreds of names. I know it's not just about one name.
Oh, absolutely.
It's about that team of names. But to us, Hobsons and the legacies, whether you're Graves or Hobson, it's just about so much more than,
Absolutely.
you know, you're right. It's not about going out there and getting on a ride.
Yeah.
But it is about filling your tummy too. And
Absolutely.
there's a lot of legacy of
Well,
that out there too.
You know, and this is, I just so happen ice cream's one of my favorite things just on this
Oh,
earth.
yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
so I'm always like, support them 4-H kids because they got the ice cream. Meanwhile, I'm like, I just want to double fist milkshakes and ice cream.
It is what it
But
is.
it is. I'm just like, it just gives me an
There's
excuse.
blessings.
I got to support the kids, honey. I need to eat this milkshake.
See, that's it. Well, and then you have to leave. You have to leave with a funnel cake. You know, just all these things, the evolution of funnel cakes, and just all these things. It's not just a funnel cake.
That's right.
There's 10 different kinds of funnel cakes. So we do. We have a lot of fun. I remember just all my life going out there and just celebrating this community and what we have to offer. And it makes me so happy when we see thousands of cars out there, hundreds
Absolutely.
of cars. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So please come out. Seniors, come out and Senior Day. This is a perfect chance for you to come out and see the fair because you can come and get in for free.
Yep.
We'll be happy to get you if you need help, assistance to get the education
look for the
building. We'll
golf-
make sure you get there
For sure.
But and then of course afterwards, if you want to go and just check out the rest of the fair, you're here. It's
For
like
sure.
let me go hit the commercial building. Hey, maybe I'm gonna go sit and watch one of these livestock shows, or you know what? You're like, I always ride the Ferris wheel every year. I don't care what it is, and so I'm going to go hit my Ferris wheel trip.
That's right.
Whatever. Then go do your fair experience after you come visit the Senior Days.
And I love the setup now. The
Yeah.
setup. They've just done so much out there.
Absolutely,
Great job.
Yeah, they do, and I would, I ain't gonna lie, I think you ought to devote a night and come hungry and do a little like what we call like a food crawl, like a pub crawl, like they do.
Exactly.
But go and hit some of these and hit them all. Hit some of our local favorites. Try
Exactly.
some of the new and
like that
odder different
progressive
stuff.
meal type concept.
Yeah, because
don't if you're in the couples, don't get the same thing. You've
Yeah.
got to get some stuff. And,
sample that. Yeah, get the weirdest thing on there. It's like, what is that? A lizard on a stick? All right, let's try it.
Have
You know
fun
what I
with it
mean?
and embrace it. That's right.
Absolutely. That's what I love about the fair is you get a chance to
It is.
experience and try new things and do things you normally wouldn't get to experience.
That's
so
right.
enjoy that part of it. Too.
And the weather is cooperating. I think this is a little bit more of.
I'm
the
about to say,
fair.
I think we got a nice week for weather here. It's today, and believe it or not, I know you're feeling, man, it's a little breezy right now. This is all supposed to tap down this afternoon.
Right.
By lunch today, I think we're supposed to be like 5 to 10 this afternoon. So by the time the fair stuff really kicks off, it should be beautiful.
Oh,
out
it
there,
is.
so.
Well, and to me, we need this though. I just don't want to be 95 degrees out
Yeah.
there sweating at the
Well,
fair like we were the other day,
and
setting everything up.
Sean and I were talking, and he was like, talking about no rain, and he's like, and I said, one rain, and he's like, no. I said, no. I said, preferably overnight, but I think to make a fair perfect, you need the one rain to
Or
tamp
just a
down
sprinkle,
dust,
just a little
to tamp
sprinkle.
down dust, to cool things off a little bit. It just gives it a pleasantry. Now, yeah, we don't conversely want it, and to be honest, I prefer that not to happen at 4 or 5 o'clock or right when we're about to start one of the busiest events at the fair. but let's get a couple 2, 3 in the morning, 30-minute, 20-minute
Put it all
downpours
down.
to tap down some dust. By 6 a.m., the puddles are pretty much almost dried up.
That's
and,
right.
you know, that's what I'm talking
Makes it fun.
Yeah. So, is there any historical events we want to kind of remind folks
We've
about?
got
put on
to
our
remind the book fair's coming up in a
Yes.
couple of weeks.
I was saying,
So we've
it's in
got-
October. Oh, wait, it's October
my
now.
Gosh. It's hard to believe not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Yeah, we're
is
2 weeks
for a
away,
book fair.
just basically, or a week and a half, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun things happening, a lot of fun. Just reminding people, we've got our newsletter coming out. Memberships are available.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a lot of tours, educational tours, partnering with the school district, private
Absolutely.
schools, different things like that. We will continue praying at the poll, and I believe
That's an
what
every
we're going to
Tuesday thing, right?
what we're going to try to do, but not tomorrow because we've got some things.
Gotcha.
The first Wednesday of every month, 9
Okay.
o'clock, meet at the poll. I'll come back on. We'll post it.
Okay.
Follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and we'll remind. But I think we're going to work on Wednesdays, so the first Wednesday of every month.
Oh, perfect.
But let me be clear: if you're carrying a heavy burden or want to just meet at the poll, give us a call. That is something that we're willing to do, and that's just part of the Historical Society.
Absolutely.
You know, we all carry a lot of heavy burdens, a lot of what's going on in this world. You give us a call and we'll make things happen. So that's, to me, something that is just as much our flagpole as any. I would love to see a group or organization show up and partner and do things like that. Pictures, we're seeing a lot of activity with pictures. It's that senior picture time, so we're seeing a lot of fun
Good
pictures.
deal.
Holidays are right around the corner. We will be at Holiday Magic. John will be signing books.
Okay.
We will be decorated for Christmas right before Thanksgiving, and that beautiful, elegant Christmas setting will be perfect for private tours, organizations, that kind of thing. Our archive building is available for events and that kind of stuff.
You want to do a little smaller staff party or
yes,
meeting? Or
yes, so we
anything like
do
that?
offer
Yeah.
that for rental. What I do want everybody to know is something a little bit different. We're just required for every individual that rents that to get their own private insurance policy. That's just out of protection for everybody. Minimal rental,
Cover everyone's
though.
bases and butts,
it's
yeah.
very minimal, and we can partner and help people, guide them in the right direction to get those insurance policies.
It's relatively
Very
painless.
simple.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But-
So a lot going on.
Absolutely.
A lot
And then,
fun
of course,
things.
don't forget, with the holiday season, the Historical Society can help with gifts, too. We have,
for sure.
Like, if you've got a reader on your list or a history lover or art lover
Yes.
or any of that kind of stuff, we have a bevy that will make great gifts for the holidays. Yeah.
Yes.
Check
We've
out our
got
website.
class reunions coming up. I know they just had a class reunion. I know we're working with some class reunions.
Yeah.
So
Well,
book
it's just
sales
kind of
are-
homecoming season
it's
right
that
now. So,
time
yeah.
of year.
It's-
So
well, wrapped up.
We're
but yeah.
always willing to partner with those class reunions for goodie bags and things like that.
Absolutely.
Special tours and different things. Just customizing to make it just part of their event. And we're happy to
Absolutely.
do that, whether it's morning, noon, or night. I know things have been a little bit unique because they stay so busy during the day. Sometimes we need to go kind of early or kind of late, and we respect that. We respect that calendar to get as much in, and we're just happy to help in any way possible.
Absolutely. And of course, I always want to put the olive branch out there or the offer to, not olive branch, but the offer to if you're looking to get involved. We
for sure.
We are currently accepting volunteers.
We are, and we've had a lot. We've been getting a lot of volunteers. We've got new volunteers in the archives. We've got people. We've got new volunteers. You know, life happens. We've had a lot of people that have been volunteering. You know, I don't know that everybody dreams of volunteering at the Historical Society for 50 plus years.
Right.
Sometimes it's time to retire, and we need some new ones. We love young ones. We love couples. So we've had a lot of interest recently.
The reason why we have that is because it's a passion too, and it's fun.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, and quite frankly, I mean, if you're kind of a pack ratty type person by nature, but everyone in your family's telling you got to stop doing this, maybe you're the right person for us because you can appreciate what our archives is and how it works. And to be honest, but we are going to need, because there's hard decisions that have to be made because there is a finite amount of space, and we want to keep it all, but you know, we have to prioritize sometimes and decide which one is the one that's worth keeping, and if we, you know, what do we have to think about other options for here? But but this is the kind of stuff the archives are going. And of course, if you're a cataloger or computer type person, we're constantly evolving to try to get all that stuff digital and preserved in other ways. So if like papers and things, at some point those are going to go away. They just will deteriorate. At least we have some kind of digital evidence that it existed.
Right.
If that makes
For
sense.
sure.
You know what I mean? And so if you're an expert in that kind of stuff, then you know what? John would love to talk to you, and our volunteers,
A
we'd
lot of
love to
great
have
volunteers.
you part. Or maybe you're just a people person and you want to
That's
do
true.
tours and you want to do things like that. We would love to have you come up and say, yeah, I'd love to be a docent when you have tours and things like that, or when you do fourth grade tours. If you need volunteers to help run stations and wrangle kids and do all that,
That's
I'd
right.
love to do that.
If you want to be a seasonal volunteer, meaning or just job-based, only on certain times, we're open to that. We've been working on some fun projects with the Roswell Public Library, they're working on digitizing yearbooks.
Good deal.
And so we've been inventorying all of our yearbooks. We have quite the collection, but just because we're the Historical Society does not mean we have every yearbook from every year and every
Sure.
So we might be putting some calls out,
Sure.
but we've been happy to work with the schools.
Check your
and they've
boxes
been
and your
wonderful.
closets and-
That's
yeah.
right. I think those are things that are, again, very, very important. And we're just honored to work with any organization and individuals to celebrate history in any way possible. You can email for more information at historydirector@outlook.com. You can call the museum at 622-8333, archives number 622-1176. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or roswellnmhistory.org. Following us are...
Yes, you can do a little shopping too there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. A week from today is our next Texas Roadhouse night.
Very
so
good.
mark your calendars a week from
That's
today.
a dime to donate. Well,
That's right.
If you haven't done so already, you can go to our website or go to our Facebook page and get that flyer. Have a copy of it either on your phone or actual on a piece of paper in your hand. And usually it's from like 3 to 10
3
or
to
something
10.
like that.
For to go also.
Yeah, you can do to go or dine in. Have a meal. You present that flyer, and 10% of your meal cost will go back to the humane side, the Historical Society that night.
If that's
I got
what
so
you
many
wanted
in the
to
brains.
do, well, hey, you know what?
They do another night,
Well,
and
you
go
know
eat
what?
that night too.
And we love them too. We were just working with them on some
Yeah.
projects. So hey, if you come to our dine and donate, but you want us to, hey, we'll do whatever.
Sure.
You,
They actually do their other one too. So
That's
I'll just
right.
say, just gives you an excuse to have steak on another
well,
night
and
too.
I love
But, yeah.
to show up out there knowing that what lives get busy, but
And
showing
it's
up
great.
almost any night
And-
you
and
can
I'm-
help somebody else.
And I'm very appreciative that restaurant does that.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh, for
yes, the Historical
sure.
Society does it, but and there's a lot. The
There's
Humane
a
Society,
lot
I
of
know.
groups. The
Our
Symphony.
VFW does some stuff
Yeah,
out
some
there.
Symphony, a
and
lot
I'm
of
so thankful that they
organizations.
allow their business to offer
Yes, we
that,
really
too.
appreciate that.
So please support all of these groups
Mhm.
that do that and support Texas Roadhouse.
Oh,
you know,
for sure.
Absolutely big, So, and if you think, well, I can't have steak 2 nights in a row, fine. They got chicken, they got ribs, they got burgers.
They have
They got
They have
fish.
great salad.
Matter
Great
of fact, my
salads.
wife had salmon for the first time there, and she loved it. She was like,
Oh,
I forget
see?
they have that. And got it. She wasn't the
They
loop of
do.
steak.
Well, that's right. They have a great menu. So
Yeah.
thank you very much.
And then, of course,
Collecting loose change.
Oh, yeah,
we
we're always
just
taking
got that. We were just putting out some posters regarding a historic book fair, and we collected. Again, thank you to those businesses helping support us by collecting change.
Mhm.
You can take your change to the fair tomorrow night.
We'll
We'll
take
have
it.
our big old check out there.
Yeah.
But yes, we are collecting loose change. Every penny counts. Whether you can give us a dime, a dollar, a nickel, whether you can be a member, whatever it's. We're just thankful, and I think every bit counts.
Absolutely. And we just are very appreciative that
Oh, for
because
sure.
we've actually raised thousands of dollars
We
over a
have.
couple of years
We
in just
have.
loose change.
And
It's
we
really-
have. And thank
yeah,
you, Robin.
it's-
We've
it's-
taken in little Ziplocs,
Yeah.
and they see us coming.
Yeah.
And huge shout out to Pioneer. They've been so good to support and help
Yeah.
us with that. And we really
and
appreciate
it's money
it.
that's gone to put to good use, and it's
Yes.
literally just because we set these things up and people drop quarters in there every
Yes.
once in a while, and we've generated. Or what I really love, this is always my favorite. Whenever we have we usually like one of our heritage dinner or drive-through dinner events like that, I guarantee every single time, and it's usually a child. Sometimes it's an old man or child. It's always one of the two, and they always have either a a giant like mason jar or mayonnaise jar filled with change.
Folgers.
Or the Ziploc bag.
Yeah, Ziploc bag.
The gallon Ziploc bag.
Yep.
Like old mans carry the jar. The kids had the Ziploc bag. There, if you want to stereotype, that's generally how it works.
It's true.
But it's usually.
And I think we've gotten.
And I love that every time I see that.
Folgers cans, we've gotten, or somebody has gotten over $200 in one Folgers can just with change. It's hilarious.
I'm so. I'm so thankful that they took time because, to be honest, that's an effort. You know what I mean? They consciously thought of doing that, and in some cases, they probably, like some of these folks, I'm going to say the old men, they probably had the change in the closet. They just throw it in there for years. But these kids probably went out deliberately, started that Ziploc bag just to do this, and that's so
right.
cool.
Oh, for sure.
So appreciate that. So big thank you to all that. So when you do see those
really
around town, and you drop a penny, nickel, dime, quarter, buck, throw 100 in there. I won't mind. We're very thankful for you.
Every bit counts.
It's very brave. You don't know how many little blessings you have provided.
That is
thanks
for
to
sure.
those little donations.
That is for sure. If you have other questions, we've had a lot of calls recently just celebrating historic district, historic homes. We've been working with realtors, researching homes. We have quite a collection that we've developed on historical homes and that kind of thing. A lot of calls recently.
Good.
So working with the realtors and digging into that history of the homes. And, we were thinking it is so amazing. Every home does tell a story.
Well,
so we've got quite a bit of information any way we can help.
And, and obviously we have generations of history here. And so your architecture sometimes speaks to that.
Oh, for sure it
when
does.
neighborhoods were built and created, the architecture of that day is going to be more predominant than a newer or an older neighborhood.
Yes.
And so you can, it's kind of like science and math when they're trying to solve cases and things like that. Kind of the same kind of deal. You can solve history and what history did just by noticing the clues. Like, I've noticed all the houses this are a particular architecture. That tells me it was built in a certain time period.
That's exactly right.
That's the kind of stuff you learn from that.
Once you start digging into it, it's fascinating.
Absolutely. So please, if you love that kind of stuff, come volunteer. Come out to Senior Day tomorrow.
Please
Seniors,
do.
come. It's free, 3 to 6. Meet us at the gate. We'll get you to the education
That's exactly
building,
right.
and come in and enjoy some free stuff. Enjoy the fun that is the fair, and then of course we would love to see you at our website and come visit and come check out. Like if you're looking for some great books or some Peter Hurd artwork, and you've got some people on your Christmas list that would love some local books from great local authors talking about everything from ghost stories to history
Dewey Johnson's baseball.
to baseball to everything
the
in
Scoundrels
between.
book, Donna's new book. John's got some new books coming out.
All that's
A
kind
lot
of in our
fun.
collection there, and make great gifts. And every time you do that, you help out the author, but you also help us out at the
That's what it's all
Historical
about.
Society. And thank you to the White Hurd family. They've kind of given us this gift of being the ones that are allowed to pretty much exclusively give out and do with their prints and things like that here. And so, that's something we've had for years, and we've got quite a nice selection of different prints.
We
and
really
stuff.
do. We
And
don't have them all.
Yeah,
have quite a few.
But we have a
different
great
ones.
collection, and they make beautiful Christmas gifts.
They sure do.
Again, go
Great
check out the
gift
website. You can see all that.
For sure. And in the Arts and Crafts building tomorrow night, 3 to 6, we'll be there while supplies last. We'll have our bags. We'll have our treats while supplies last. So.
And that mystery, whatever that whatchamacallit thing you've been bobbering there.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The Mexico Military Institute came with some really cool things.
Nice.
But
Did this come from the
chamber.
science and the STEM kids? Did they start doing? Okay, I didn't know them STEM kids were cooking in that lab
really
over there.
classy gifts. We've got some really nice gifts. So
Cool.
you're going to get a bag, and you're going to have fun to see what all's in the bag. So.
Awesome, but very good. But come out and be a part of it. Enjoy the fair. The weather's going to be great. The activities are going to be great. All we need is you. Come on out, 3 to 6 tomorrow. So.
Yes.
As always, Amy, thank you for
We
what you do.
appreciate it.
And
Happy day.
And try to take a break every now and then. And,
We did. We were at the New Mexico State UNM game this weekend, so we did. We had a little break. And brought home a puppy. Oh, my goodness.
You brought a puppy
We
home?
brought home a puppy.
Intentionally or unintentionally?
Oh, no. I thought Ralph was joking. Oh, he wasn't joking. So if I
Fell in
look
love.
tired, I have the bags. Yes, we have a little baby at home. So there you go.
Have you had too many accidents yet? Or are we...
Oh, yes.
All right.
Oh, yes. That's all
Crate
right.
training is an amazing tool for puppies.
It really.
My dog, if you put them in the crate at night, dogs will instinctually not poop where they sleep. So if you're trying to train them, put them in the crate at night. They'll sleep and make it like their bed and everything. and at night they will not go to the bathroom. But as soon as you wake up, you better book it to get them out.
Make the dash.
Because they're ready. But it's one of the simplest methods I found at training puppies.
Cool. Yep.
And, so
we do have the crate, so
yeah,
there you go.
It's a good thing. So, well, thank you. Good luck with that, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great one.
All right, it is 8:54. Let us play some news and play some commercials. Yeah, I think that's all we got time for. We'll be back. Don't go away.
And now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia General Hospital recently implemented Mind Ray medical monitors throughout the hospital with the goal of improving patient safety and observability. The monitors can track a range of vital signs like heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, respiratory rate, and your temperature. They play a critical role in the healthcare setting and provide accurate real-time data that clinicians need to make informed decisions. By providing continuous real-time data, these new Mind Ray monitors ensure that healthcare providers can swiftly respond to any changes in a patient's condition. A New Mexico judge has ordered the armorer for the Alec Baldwin movie Rust to remain in prison despite evidence uncovered during Baldwin's trial. Armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed asked a court to reconsider her involuntary manslaughter conviction after the criminal case against Baldwin was thrown out, after prosecutors withheld evidence from the defense. Judge Mary Marlowe Sommer halted and ended Baldwin's trial in July based on misconduct of police and prosecutors and their withholding evidence from the defense in the 2021 shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set outside Santa Fe. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be a little gusty today. We have a dry cold front moving through the area. We will have sunshine and it'll be slightly cooler. At least we'll stay below the 90-degree mark. Looks like mid to upper 80s, but that wind will be gusty at around 30 miles an hour. Overnight looks clear, low to mid 50s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, our high in the upper 80s. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. A choppy session on Wall Street yesterday. U.S. stocks closed mixed as new home sales fell 4.7% in August, a larger decline than what was expected on Wall Street. The median price of a home declined. Today on the economic calendar, look for initial jobless claims as well as pending home sales for August. Durable goods orders for August due, as well as the second revision for the GDP. Dow component Amgen sold off yesterday, weighing on the blue chip stock average. Disney Plus cracking down on password sharing. The streaming platform will allow users to add a member outside their household. Going to cost you $7 per month for Disney Plus Basic, $10 for Disney Plus Premium. Only one extra member allowed per account. Streaming giant Netflix made a similar move last year and reported success with low account cancellations. Yesterday's notable losers included automakers General Motors and Ford. Energy giant Chevron slumped. On the upside, a relatively good day for the tech sector. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise rose following an upgrade from analysts as tied to artificial intelligence demand, and AI darling chipmaker NVIDIA advanced as well. That's the Market Report. I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Hey, Judge Janine here. You've heard me talking about Byrna. Listen to this story from John. John Kennedy was napping on his couch between shifts when a large intoxicated man broke through his door. John used a Byrna hidden in his couch to take the man's knees out, incapacitating him until police arrived. The New York compliant kit does not require a background check and can ship directly to your home. Visit Byrna.com/Janine now and you'll get 10% off your purchase. Just know Byrna products cannot be legally purchased or used in New York City and Yonkers.
This product may only be used for emergency self-defense purposes or to train. Please be trained for use accordingly.
What? My trade's gotta be worth more than this!
Hey, Roswell and surrounding areas, don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Right now, the all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. That means you'll get get top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR or no payments till 2025. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand financed on select models. No payments till 2025. Subject to lender approval through Ford Credit. Offers not combined.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
I'm Rich Thomason. The Israeli military calls its move into southern Lebanon a limited ground invasion, going after what's described by the IDF as Hezbollah terrorist targets and infrastructure. Prices could rise. Some goods could become scarce if the newly launched dock workers strike drags on.
Boyce Butler is the president of the International Longshoremen's Association Union Local in Philadelphia. He says they'll strike for as long as they need to.
We may be 60,000 members from Maine to Texas, but what we control in the economy is billions and billions and billions of dollars every day.
The U.S. Maritime Alliance, which represents the ports, says its latest offer to dock workers is a 50% pay increase over 6 years, and it's promising to keep limits on automation. The union says that offer still falls short. I'm Donna Water.
Tonight's one and only vice presidential debate could feature some sharp exchanges, as our White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports from New York.
Governor Tim Walz made national headlines by calling the Republican ticket weird. Senator J.D. Vance has repeatedly labeled his Democratic rivals as extreme liberals. After criticizing each other from afar, the two VP nominees will face each other for 90 minutes on the debate stage. Tonight's face-off comes 5 weeks before Election Day, and with polls showing a neck-and-neck race. Greg Clugston, New York.
The Salem Radio Network and the Salem News Channel will offer a simulcast of tonight's CBS News vice presidential debate. At least 133 lives have been lost, hundreds of people still unaccounted for. The toll taken by Hurricane Helene across the South, with a staggering amount of property damage as well. On Wall Street, the Dow down 245 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Goal. Japan's famed bullet trains, hitting speeds of almost 200 miles per hour, still going strong 60 years after their debut.
Japan's first high-speed train traveled between Tokyo and Osaka in 1964. There are now many more lines on which trains smoothly whiz by at up to 320 kilometers an hour. The Shinkansen's arrival marked the beginning of Japan's rise to global prominence, and the trains have become a symbol of the country's engineering prowess. High-tech machines run with efficiency and politeness. They're rarely late. On many lines, the average delay is less than a minute. 60 years on, the Shinkansen bullet trains remain a genuine source of national pride.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. Inflation in the 20 countries using the euro fell to 1.8% in September, below the European Central Bank's 2% target for the first time in more than 3 years. Townhall.com. Charitable events mark former President Carter's birthday and his long legacy of service.
The October 1st 100th birthday of former President Jimmy Carter is being observed with the construction of 30 new homes in St. Paul, Minnesota. Thousands of Habitat for Humanity volunteers gathered Monday to start building the homes on what was once a golf course. Carter and late First Lady Rosalind Carter's relationship with Habitat for Humanity stretches back 40 years to when the couple went to New York City on a build in 1984. Habitat International CEO Jonathan Reckford.
President Carter's often told me that building with Habitat is the best way he knows to put his Christian faith into action in a very tangible way.
I'm Norman Hall.
A 61-year-old Texas man, Garcia White, convicted of fatally stabbing twin 16-year-old girls decades ago, facing execution this evening, the Texas State Pen in Huntsville. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace that nearness.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters. Thank you, ma'am. Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Jocelyn on the mic there as Sean is off enjoying the fair with his daughter this morning. So he'll be back in a little bit, or not for the show. He'll be back later today here. Not that you care, but he will be. So he's off doing that right now. Eastern Mexico State Fair. It's in full swing. We're in full. Of course, Ride 'em Cowboy Night is with the unlimited discount, unlimited ride armbands tonight out at the fair. So if you're all about the rides, today's the day. You want to make sure you spend some seat time out at the carnival there at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Of course, don't forget, all week long, livestock shows are happening. I believe there's one happening as we speak. If you can watch all the livestock shows live and, hiccups there, apologize, on demand at ksvptv.com. There's a channel there for the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, and you can go and click it. And so all the shows that have already took place on Monday, day one of the fair, those are up there now. Shows that have started, I believe one of the shows have already, I think is it Goats? I can't remember. I remember seeing the thing pop up saying that their show's active and going right now as we speak. So you can go watch that at ksvptv.com. I always like to tell you, go out there and get to those shows, but generally speaking, how it works is, kids have family. Imagine that, right? They got family, and some of the family don't live in southeast New Mexico. Some of them live, in Texas or Colorado, or maybe up in the Four Corners area or something. They don't live here, or maybe they live like back east or something. But they want to see their kids, their daughters and sons and granddaughters and grandsons and nieces and nephews out there doing their thing. So we get quite a bit of viewership for our livestock shows. It's something that one would not think would be as popular as it is, but especially when you get to some of the larger shows with the where there's more classes, more animals, more kids, they will get thousands of views for those. put it this way. When we do our video, our whole video side at ksvptv.com, if you've never been there, I invite you to go there and check out all of our videos. Of course, this show is they're streamed live and on demand daily. Of course, our KSVP morning show is there as well on KSVP. All of our sports for Roswell Coyotes, for Goddard Rockets, and for Artesia Bulldogs. You can also find NMMI, Colt, and Bronco sports there as well. And then, of course, fairs. We have our Eastern New Mexico State Fair. You'll see Chavez County Fair, Eddy County Fair. You'll see a couple fairs, shows, and we do the livestock shows there. And so if you've never been there, I invite you to check it out. They're all there. But in that whole lexicon of shows and everything, the king, as far as most people, most views, what people generally come for in droves, the one seed, sorry, Roswell, it's Artesia Bulldog football. Artesia Bulldog football generates 4,000 to 5,000 people live each night watching, or each Friday when those games are on. And then they'll generate thousands more of views in the days to follow. Now, Roswell and Goddard, don't worry. You guys get thousands of views too, but generally those numbers are more in the hundreds watching during the live games, which I'm hoping it's because y'all are out at the Wool Bowl rooting them on. But and so we get hundreds watching, but usually by the end of each week we have several thousand views over the on demand and everything else. But right behind Artesia Bulldog football are generally livestock shows. We get so many views of these things. We'll have thousands of them. It could be 2 p.m. and they're doing a dairy heifer show, and there's 600 people watching at that particular moment on a Tuesday. That's amazing, and then that goes, and the next thing you know, then they go back, and because people are at work and stuff during some of these shows, they go back and watch, and next thing you know, we've got a swine show that's got 7,000 views on it, and it's up there rivaling with some of our football and things like that. So so those livestock shows are one of our bigger viewed products there on ksvptv.com. So I invite you to go check that out if you've never been, and go see some of the other stuff there too. So that's it's just pretty cool to see those kind of numbers and things. So you'd be surprised how immensely popular livestock shows and the viewership for those. We get excellent numbers for those. We were talking with Amy McVeigh-Tejas last hour, and we kind of talked mostly about Senior Day at the fair and everything, but she did touch on the Historic Book Fair. That event is, like she said, it's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. It's going to be Saturday, October 12th, and the event will take place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it will be at the archives facility there at the Historical Society. The address there is 208 North Lee Street. So if you're not familiar with the Historical Society's Historic Book Fair, how this works is they usually do this once, sometimes twice a year, just depending on a need or not, basically. How many of the collections, many of the things that the Historical Society calls home are donated. People, families donate them. Sometimes loved ones pass, and so they're going through the collections, and they find, things that are worthy to be preserved. A lot of times books, things like that, photos, lots of things like that. Things chronicling history. We get all kinds of things that kind of come through as donations, and we have an archives facility that is packed with lots of stuff like this. Books are very common donation things to us. Rare, out-of-print books that, usually dealing with this area. A lot of the subjects of the books are generally of Southeast New Mexico, related in some way, shape, or form, whether it's the author or whether the subject matter is of this area. But these books, and over time we get some, and some become quite rare, out of print, collectible. Well, these books get donated to us, and so we keep them on the shelves at the archives facility and to preserve them. However, sometimes we get multiple copies. We'll get a book that's rare and out of print, but we have 5-6 copies of this book. We don't have the space, unfortunately, to keep 5-6 copies of a book like that. So what we do is we keep the good one, and we will cannibalize from, like, so if there's one that's got a better spine, but this one's got a better dust jacket, we're going to take the dust jacket off this one, put it on the spine of this one. So we get the best book. But the other books, what they do is they make them available for the historic book fair. So how that works is on Saturday, October 12th, all these extra books that we have multiples of, and we have more than we need, we offer them back to the public for them to buy for their own collections. So your opportunity will be Saturday, October 12th from 10 and 2. Like I said, we keep the good ones, so don't worry. You're not depleting our collection or denying things that need to be in the Historical Society's archives. We got those covered. This is the extra stuff. As part of that, you'll find a great selection of rare out-of-print books, both historic books and fictional titles. There will be also mystery bags. And how that works, it's a $5 mystery bag, no peeking, and we just have these bags. And I guarantee you pay $5 and you're going to get more than $5 value in the books that are in there. But it's a mystery. You kind of you don't know what the books are in there. They're all going to be a little bit more. And so it's a great fundraising event for the Historical Society. But at the same time, you get some collector books, and you're going to make out as far as the value of these go on that kind of stuff. Plus, John LeMay will be there signing copies of his latest book as well. And so if you have any questions about it, roswellnmhistory.org, or call the Historical Society, 575-622-8333. All right, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We're going to do the weather here in just a bit. And then here in just shortly thereafter, we're going to have Jason Allison and the Allisons. I'm going to sell that from Allison's Home Supply here. And, we talked to them last time about flooring and mostly that side of things. Well, they also do kitchen and bathroom remodels and all that kind of stuff too. So we're going to be talking about cabinets and countertops. That's kind of our focus this time here. So we'll talk with Jason Allison and the Allisons. I'm going to sell that as a band name for them. We'll see what they think of that. But so we'll talk to them in here in just a bit. We'll also get you up to date with the local news, all that good stuff here, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be a little gusty today. We have a dry cold front moving through the area. We will have sunshine, and it'll be slightly cooler. At least we'll stay below the 90-degree mark. Looks like mid to upper 80s, but that wind will be gusty at around 30 miles an hour. Overnight looks clear, low to mid 50s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, our high in the upper 80s. That's your latest weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 64 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 26%. Winds are still blowing right now. They're out of the north at 24, gusting to 32 miles per hour. We are expected a little breezy this morning, but the good news is these winds should start tamping down by early afternoon here. So, but weather-wise, sunny and 85 today, so that's the nice part. But like I said, these north winds 15 to 20 this morning, but those winds will drop down 5 to 10 later this afternoon. Clear skies tonight. Expect an overnight low of 56 degrees. Love when it's down in the 50s. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and 89, almost 90 tomorrow. South winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies. Once again, overnight low of 56. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, a little bit warmer, 93 on Thursday under sunny skies. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny skies, highs right at 90. And then for the weekend on Saturday, sunny and 89 Saturday, sunny and 90 on Sunday. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with Jason Allison and the Allisons from Allison's Home Supply. And we're going to talk some kitchen cabinetry and countertops and all that good stuff. Don't go away. We'll be back.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assisting, nursing, and respiratory therapy. ENMU Roswell can prepare you for a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. ENMUR stacks courses in order to get the student into a job as quickly as possible while creating a pathway for more advanced certifications, licenses, and degrees. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, no, I'm growing like a bamboo. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, technically not Jason, Allison, and the Allison. I was trying to sell like a whole band thing going on, but not today. He brought,
we can do that though too.
He brought his business family today, not his blood family today.
Yep.
So.
There'll be someone different every day.
So Jason's joining us this morning. Good morning, Jason.
How you doing?
And because we're going to talk some kitchen countertops and cabinetry and that world of things today, we have Chewy, Jesus, and Eric joining us as well too. Some of your experts in the field of making sure your kitchens and bathrooms do and look and smell and sound and feel like kitchens and bathrooms.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. So, welcome, guys. How you guys doing? So, I guess you guys are happy because you kind of, this is like, you get to slack off for a little bit, right? Because normally you're out probably, working, either doing designs or laying out a kitchen or, knee deep in sawdust somewhere or something. So now you're kind of like, hey, I'll get the air conditioning aside just for a little bit. Good deal. Well, talk, and that's something I think we kind of, like last time we had you guys on, we kind of did focus on the flooring and the carpet side of that things, which obviously is very much part of Allison's and Abby's and the whole umbrella of the business here. But yes, there's this whole side that you remodel kitchens, bathrooms. If you need material for bigger projects, that's all under the umbrella of Allison's too. Mm-hmm. And so if you've been thinking about, it's time for me to, last time these countertops were replaced, I'm pretty sure George Clinton, or not George Clinton, Bill Clinton was president. George Clinton was popular, and Bill Clinton was president. You know what I mean? So you're thinking, all right, maybe it's time to upgrade these things. And that's where your guys, and that's where you guys come in and start working your magic, doing your thing here. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of curious, like what kind of stuff do you see when it comes to kitchens? I mean, what kind of requests? What's kind of the stuff that people are generally looking for when it comes to kitchens and bathrooms? What's kind of like the trends, or just what people are looking to see in a what would be a modern kitchen or bathroom?
The trend right now, everybody, it's still popular, white.
White.
But people are starting to go into more of the browns, the grays, the blues.
Okay. So we're kind of getting a little bit more earthy tones back colorful. Into that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I always kind of like, me myself, like generally, because, like if you're doing houses and if you're like into flipping and reselling, those tones, those kind of neutral tones generally are more, people are less likely to want to tear up or want to replace. They kind of, all right, that was good. I can live with this, kind of thing. So that's kind of nice to see that. Now, white is a great thing, but I ain't going to lie.
It's boring.
It's boring, but, and quite frankly, it kind of, like, when that spaghetti stain, you forget to clean it. It's gonna be there a while. If you're a messy person, you want something that conceals and hides.
It's a kitchen. It's gonna get messy.
It's job. The two messiest rooms in the house: bathroom, kitchen. It's just facts. That's what happens there. So, so what about materials? Because this is something when we talk about like particular countertops, and you hear everything from like granite, and everyone's like, ooh, granite, but there's a lot between granite and I don't know, plywood. I mean, you know what I mean? There is, and all of it, because I think in most people's head we think granite, we think that's our Armani, our Gucci, our high end stuff, and you're not wrong. It absolutely is, but there's equally high end stuff like that that's not granite or not anything, and that's kind of where I'm curious. It's like there are so many options in countertops nowadays that I think it kind of make your head spin if you don't really, if you don't, you know what I mean? You kind of got to buckle down a little bit and decide what you want.
Oh, yeah, no. So for countertops, the biggest two materials, quartz and granite. Granite, all natural, beautiful. A lot of people don't know this. You have to seal it.
Sure.
Every 6 months.
Every piece is different.
Oh, yeah. And then every piece is different. You might get a chunk that's got a lot of veining. You might, a little bit down the line, you might not.
And generally, so that's one of the few materials that you probably want to go down to the store and look at physically because you want to see the marbling, you want to see how the character of it.
Which I'm glad you brought that up. We do carry in stock granite and quartz.
Okay, so if you want to come down and touch it, feel it, and, well, within reason. If you get too gross, we'll have you. But you know what I mean.
We have 60 slabs in stock now, right?
Oh yeah,
good deal. So if you want to come and see and of course you can picture. Like you can let you guys kind of lay the design, the layout and stuff. But if you've got a vision in your head on colors and all that, you just tell Eric, tell the guys here, and you guys punch your numbers in, work your magic here. So kind of if you want to come down and be like, because I imagine you probably get some people that fall in love with a certain pattern of granite and they say, design the whole kitchen around this granite countertop, right?
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what, so if you're looking for inspiration, maybe that's how you get it, or that quartz countertop or whatever out there. If you're looking for more affordable options, that's the thing too. You can get great quality, but not have to pay that granite countertop price.
Oh, yeah.
There is a lot of options there on that.
And we have that in stock. We have 1 to 5 on granites and 1 to 7 in quartz.
Okay. Very good.
And then we're getting into the solid surface, which will be your even more economic stuff. That stuff it's higher grade than laminate, but it's really cheap but really good quality.
Sure. And I imagine too is some of the questions you want to ask is what you're doing in this kitchen. Because obviously if you're doing a lot of cutting and things, maybe you want to design countertops that are mean to that. Maybe you want to build some of that into it where you're like, well, I can cut directly on this countertop with this style of countertop, or create a section of it where you allow those kind of things. You might want to be careful because cutting boards are something that you have to replace often and frequently because of germ things. So you might want to think about that. But anyway, if that's the stuff to talk to these guys about and do those things. But I'm kind of curious when you talk to quartz and granite. I mean, obviously looks are different, but as far as like the functionalities of it, do they, or does one, because I know sometimes people, because you're putting hot pans and cold things, and not all materials react the same to those kind of things. How do those, like quartz and granite, how do they handle as far as wear and tear? Are they both pretty, you can beat them up pretty good, or are they more, you got to be a little more, baby them a bit?
So granite, that sucker, you can put a hot crock pot on that thing. It'll take anything you give it.
Gotcha.
Like I said, the biggest thing is you have to seal it. A lot of people don't like that maintenance. With quartz, it's a little bit more it's scratch resistant. It's not scratch proof.
Right. Like you're going up there on your knife, it's going to leave a mark, but if you accidentally, it's going to be a little bit more forgiving.
Now with that one, though, however, heat is one of the biggest factors.
So you don't want to be putting your hot stoves. You want to put down those hot pots or whatever they call those.
You want to put some kind of buffer between you and your countertop so that you don't accidentally shock the color or crack it.
And what we'll do a lot of times for our customers that are adamant on like quartz, we'll make them a couple cutting boards.
Okay.
And we'll set them over there, and then they want to set that right off the stove. They want to set it on there. Then they're not damaging the countertop. Yeah. And we'll do that for no charge.
Excellent. So that way you can kind of, because if you're kind of an absent-minded in nature, I get it. Especially if you're in the zone, man. You're in there doing your thing and you're chefing it up, and beans flying, everything's going. You ain't got time to be neat.
Yeah. Well, a lot of customers, they want that clean, they want that marble, that nostalgia look of the older homes, where that marbling, but it's a clean white look.
Sure.
And that's where quartz comes in, and it suffices that. And marble would scratch so easy.
Sure.
So that's why the quartz, I love quartz in that aspect.
Sure. Well, and I think, and like you were talking about white and colors, but see, okay, if you go white with the countertop, great. But then you got to put the color in the cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's where, okay, if you're going to go white there, then we got to put the pop in the cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll call this a segue. When we talk about the cabinet side of things, how different, because to me, I'm like, all right, maybe the wood's different, designs are a little different, but I mean, like how different can you get in this world? Does the woods make a thing? I mean, you're like, I want pine or oak or whatever, do people, does it get as picky in the material as it would be on the countertop for the actual counters or the actual cabinets and everything else?
So, to keep it simple, there's pretty much two materials.
Okay.
There's engineered wood and there's plywood.
Okay.
Engineered wood, cheap wood, particle board.
Okay.
You pay what you get.
So there ain't guys out like looking for driftwood or finding the perfect oak tree out in the forest to build.
There is faces of the cabinet, which the majority of our cabinet face is birch.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the frames, which Eric's talking about, is the body of the cabinet.
The part you don't see. The part that's the structure, the part that's got to last for years. Where you don't really care what it's made of as long as it holds up.
And we're proud of that because we've searched for the companies that give us a good quality plywood.
Sure.
We don't sell particle board in any of our lines.
Gotcha.
So we're proud of that. And the bigger box stores, they're...
But that's always a sign, and I'm not saying, you hit a certain thing in life, particle board's what you got, but you do. As you advance in life, and I'm telling you right now, anything, and it's no different when you go to a furniture store. You go to the back and you see particle board. All right, that's a sign this is not the best quality furniture. That's what Jason's saying, isn't it? Yeah, no. You're not going to peel back the curtain and see particle board. You're going to see sound structured materials that are built to last as long as you want it to.
And the problem with particle board, you put a screw in it, it cracks.
Absolutely, splinters.
Any little moisture, it swells.
Sure.
I mean,
there's a place for it and everything else. But when you're trying to create lasting, things that generational type stuff, this is where you want to invest in. And the beauty of everything we're talking about here, everything you're about to do in that kitchen or bathroom is an investment back in you.
Mm-hmm.
That's when this is all the stuff that you get your money back in when you sell that house, especially if you keep it up. And actually, you get more. I'm telling you, if you have an outdated kitchen and you just update it, you could probably get thousands more on your resale value there, because that's one less thing that person's going to do. Because what might happen, what more odds would happen is they'll go talk to Allison's after they bought the house from you. And they go put the kitchen they want in there. But and bathrooms are the same way. When it comes to having the right sinks and counters and all the bathroom remodeled, the tubs and the amenities in there, that is what sells a house. And they walk through the house, they ain't looking. Just saying, most people are like, ooh, that wall's ugly, I can fix that. But you know what I mean. But they look at the tub and like, oh, look at that tub, or look at that sink. Yep, that's why I want this house. I want it right now, and that's what people do. So yes, your kitchen and your bathroom is kind of your showcase of your house, and that's what sells, and that's what creates value in your home. So anytime you're talking to Allison's here about upgrading those parts of your home, it's guarantee you're investing back into yourself. So if when you put granite countertops in, or you're like, you're gonna get that money back. That money comes back to you when you sell that house, guaranteed. That's why you pay for the granite countertops, because you will get your money back, because it's like you said, it's designed to live longer than you.
Oh yeah.
And that's why we're doing everything. And we're here for the customer. We don't plan on going anywhere.
Sure.
And we want that to last.
Absolutely.
We want that longevity. And we want you to get bids other places. We want you to bring us those bids, and we want to show you the difference.
You would be stupid if you didn't. Because let's face it, everything we're talking about is investment in your home. And you're going to want to get the most bang for your buck. Mm-hmm. That's what all humans do.
Yep.
Would you like to pay more for less? Yeah, that sounds delightful. No one says that. Mm-hmm. So, you're right. Do your homework. Go Go online, check your, and guess what? What Jason's saying, you're going to come back and see for the money and the quality and the value and the work, pound for pound, you're going to get the best experience.
And Eric,
here.
I don't have to babysit Eric. When people come into the store, he knows. He knows the products. He's brought in 3 different lines.
So he's back goofing off in the office while you're busting home.
Yeah,
that's code. I know that. He's kicked back. He's watching ESPN. I know what's going on. I love lumberjacking at 2 in the afternoon.
Hey, shh.
I kid, of course.
No, that's why my office is so far away from me.
Can't hear the cheering. But if you don't mind, explain the process. Like, say someone calls today and said, you know what, I really would like a kitchen remodel. Mm-hmm. Kind of talk me through, from that phone call till the day they're cooking on that stove.
Yeah. So, of course, I would take your information down. I would send one of these gentlemen right here, Chewy or Jesus. They'd go out. They'd measure your kitchen, your countertops, your layout, everything.
Gotcha.
You would come into the store. We talk cabinetry. You pick out your style, your color, countertop, what material, color, your sink, everything.
Just kind of what you like, what you don't like, and then you offer your suggestions and opinions, and they'll either agree or say, "No, I want orange," or whatever it is. Whatever they want here.
And I've had some crazy requests, so I've heard I've heard everything.
If you guys were alive in the late 70s, you would have heard brown and oranges were quite a popular request for kitchens and bathrooms.
And they're coming back.
Yeah, they starting to make the comeback here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All the greens are back. The blues.
What's it? It's more like, it's not really like a green. It's like a pine green or like a sage green. There it is. Yeah, that's that. Like, watch an episode of the Brady Bunch and look at that kitchen, which is an amazing kitchen. Like, I'd still kill for that kitchen even to this day. I mean, that dude was an architect, and he laid out a pretty cool looking kitchen there.
We take out kitchens and bathrooms. They're like, oh, that's nice, but they don't like it.
Well, it's outdated, and it is, and but sometimes but then there's timeless. And that's where, like, certain things like granite, that's where we're getting back. That's timeless. Like, you will never hear a period of time, as long as we're all alive, where someone's saying, oh, granite, that was so last year. No one's saying that, or no one will ever say that.
And there's such cool ones right now. There's your honed and your unhoned. Mm-hmm. So it's backwards of what you think. With honed, you would think it's smooth, right? But it's actually, like, cultured. Okay. So it's like a matte finish. Okay. And it's
more shiny versus more earthy.
It's less shiny.
Yeah, I got
less
you.
texture to it.
But I mean, that's kind of the popular. Some people want that gloss. Some people want more of a earthy look.
And it's weird because you got your modern, which people are going with, but it's like a rustic because you have the uneven surface, and that's what's cool about going down and looking at the slab and picking your slab because you can feel it, touch it, mark it, and that goes to your house.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's what people want right now.
It's like picking your Christmas tree or whatever. Yeah. It's like it's yours, and it's your piece. You can come back and visit it later if you want.
It's comfort, though, because you're making a big decision.
Absolutely.
And
this is a huge decision. And so just now, and then as far as the inconvenient part of this, because unfortunately, anytime you're replacing kitchens or bathrooms, there's going to be an inconvenient time. It just is. What's that like? So when we decide, we picked the colors, we picked everything, we're gonna start getting to work. What's now? Obviously, every job is different depending on the amount of work. But for a complete kitchen remodel, what's the average turnaround time from tearing in to you're in there doing your thing?
Well, we're proud of that. So, like your basic kitchen remodel, like a whole kitchen remodel.
Yeah.
That typically would take 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
With moving a lot of things.
Sure.
We can do it in 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, wow. So you can do it almost half the time, basically.
Yeah. And that helps us because now on 19th, one of our new warehouses is strictly our fabricating and cabinet and fabricating.
Because everything's in-house for much of it. It speeds up, like, in case you know. I mean, yes, we are in the post-COVID world, but still try to get material in this world. It is still crazy, expensive.
Yes.
And still turnaround times are not exactly to your liking right now.
And that's the thing. You promise a customer you're going to be done at a date, you better do it.
They don't care.
Yep.
They don't care about your problems. And I get it. Yep. That's life. You're like, I paid thousands and thousands of dollars. I want it now. And that's how people see things. And I get it. You're making a big investment. You're like, no, I want, it's no different than a car. You buy a brand new car. It's like, I just paid $50,000. I want the car right now. And like, we gotta work on it for 2 weeks. Hold on. People don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's in essence what you're telling them.
Because we had
the wait is so worth it.
We had a fabricator I worked with for 20 years out of Clovis. Awesome guy, good guy. It's just he worked a lot in Hobbs, and it would hold us up, and it held our time frame up all the time.
Sure.
We would meet our deadline on cabinetry, and then we'd be set back 2 to 3 months.
But there's a place for those people too. They're the artists in the world. Those are the guys you contract and you say like your tile work and stuff.
These two down on the end are artists.
That's what you guys do. Do you do tile work and stuff too?
They do it all.
Oh man, I'm actually a little jealous because I'm like the patience. Like to do tile work, like do you guys do the stuff where you're making the designs and you're cutting the little triangle? Have you do that kind of work too sometimes?
We can get to that.
Yeah,
okay.
the mosaics.
Get to that, yeah.
To be able to do that is to me is a talent that I'm a little envious of because I mean I have the desire, I don't have the patience. Like if it's getting off, I'm going to be the guy that and then, you know what I mean?
Just throw it all away.
I'm a 7-year-old, you know, that's me. And so I'm a little envious of your ability to be able to do that.
Is make good job for the customer, and the granite cabinet is have more experience for years. So for the people is come forward working for the company.
Yeah,
everything. Yeah,
and that's true artisan work. I mean, because it's always one of a kind. There's no two or never. You know, I mean, it'd be impossible. They'd have to be robots for that.
Yeah. And the first time for making the granite or countertop, the first time is making the template, everything. I like the company make it a template.
Yeah.
Okay, everything, angles, walls, everything.
So for you, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's more better.
He's like, shoot, I had to eyeball this before. Now it's like I plug and play, man. It's like Legos, works right in, fits right together.
It's
and all
puzzle
that
pieces, and I mean, you're gonna get quality from the get-go.
Having the right tools and the right stuff is always the difference between a wonderful job and a pain in the neck to get.
No, we even have the table that sets it up on the cabinets now. It's a little robot.
Okay, man, so you guys are pretty high tech. I mean, because this is where unless you're in the industry, you don't think it. I'm like, what do you got? A bunch of hammers and
but I
nails
don't need you and Jesus's back pulled up.
Yeah, no.
I don't even drop a slab and break their foot.
Work smarter, not harder. I was in the United States Air Force. People make fun of us, but that's our motto. And we did, you know, you call us Chair Force, you can do all that stuff. But say what you want. I'm all about technology.
Yeah, and he takes care of us really good. I appreciate that. He's bought us a bunch of stuff that he's taking care of our backs, and we'll take care of his work too. And that's
and that's another, you know. And and I always tell people how long have you guys been working for Jason? Just was curious.
A couple months now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty new. How about yourself, Eric?
About 4 or 5 months now. Too.
Okay, so you guys are pretty new, and you're already singing those praises. That's pretty great.
From the get-go, he's been taking care of us.
Excellent.
He shot us up on caffeine every morning.
That's our motto, though. It's not about I, it's about we.
Well, and to be honest, as a person that, you know, when you're shopping, especially for stuff like this, you know, getting an upgrade or getting a contract work done, basically, here, trust is a big thing, and so you gotta use your own instinct sometimes, you know, because obviously Jason's going to tell you whatever he's got to tell you to get you. Because I'm a good guy, trust me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they all say that, even the not good guys, weirdly enough. But so you have to look to evidence, and what I'd say is talking to other people, but employees are a big thing. If the employees are happy and they're talking about that stuff, odds are that translates, because, you know, that means that Jason's actually saying he's a good guy and proving he's a good guy, because, you know what I'm saying? That you know, you get I'm a good guy, but then their employees are like waiting to bolt at the chance they can get the better job. That's a red flag. So for you guys sitting here unsolicited, by the way, you know, sucking up to the boss right now, you know, it speaks volumes about what I'm talking about here, and the quality of the work and things that we're talking about here. So what I'm trying to tell you is use your spidey senses. These are the kind of things you pick up on to find out if you're dealing with a good contract work type like this. And so that's kind of the point. And by the way, when we talk with contract work, Jason and Allison's is right down the street in a building that's not going away anytime soon. So
yes, sir.
You get that reliability that, you know, that the work's getting done. If you're not happy, there's someone here that you can talk to and get it done right. They're not going to disappear after the job's done, or after you paid them, you know, or and because unfortunately in this industry that we're talking about here, There's so many horror stories of people knocking on doors, collecting thousands of dollars, and you never hear from them again.
We see it every day.
The answer to fix that, talk to
Jason
Allison.
Allison.
Yeah. Talk to Allison.
You'll get responsibility, and that's our name, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And so in that industry now more that so I know I'm joking and all that, but for you guys to say what you said does speak volumes, and that's why I'm trying to point out to people. It's like in the world where shady is not uncommon, this is what you use to find to weed that out.
But
that's like our team though. Like we don't practice.
Mm-hmm.
We don't practice on people's home. Everyone that's in this team, our whole team of 40 people, they're all been in that game for a long time.
Sure. They've been had that night.
Yes.
Where it's 2 a.m. and something's squirting out of something, and some wood's not. You know what I mean? Something like the glue's already dried, the paint's the wrong color, the tile's crooked, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You've had that night.
No, and I think you guys all own it. You know.
Well, it happens. I mean, if you guys, let's face it. Sometimes, you always hear measure twice, cut once. Sometimes you should have measured 3 times. It
5
happens.
times.
We're imperfect.
Yep. So, what's the best way to kind of get the process started? Just you can always walk into Allison's here on 2nd Street.
Yep.
What's the actual physical? I don't have it in front of me here. What's the
216?
Okay, you come on in, come by there. Go, and this is what I do. If you can Google, to be honest, Google the words Allison's Carpet. You'll find the website real quick. It'll pop right up on the first thing there. And then you can go to the website and you can see everything we're talking about here, all of their services. You can kind of even make an appointment if you want to kind of, let's talk material. Let's sit down with Eric and start picking material and picking colors and picking all that good stuff. And, start that process today. Or if you just have questions. If you're like, man, I want to do this, but I am so naive in this. Can you please walk me through this? They'll be happy to sit down and talk. Do you even get into cases where you gets into heavier? Because sometimes, like, people say, I love my kitchen, but I want my sink here instead of here.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you got to move. That's sometimes easy, sometimes not, depending on where the plumbing. Depending on where the plumbing. So I just know, is that pretty much a common thing where you're like, all right, because or bathrooms where like, I love the bathtub here, but it'd be better over there. You know what I mean?
That's what I've said before. I've had some weird requests where I'll educate the customer.
Sure.
And if they insist they want it that way, then
Sure.
okay, we'll do it.
But sometimes they'll do it, but it may not be. They're going to explain it to you. They'll be like, look, I can move that, but you know how many thousands of dollars it's going to cost to move that pipe from here to here? We'll be happy to do it if you're willing to pay for it, but I'm warning you right now, there is a cost to that, and that's just the cost of what it takes to move that pipe from here to here, between the material, the concrete we're going to have to break up, the pipe we're going to have to it's a lot of moving parts there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be happy to do it to you, but I'm warning you, it's a can of worms.
You got customers that they have a sink in front of a window, which when you're washing dishes, you want to look out a window.
Sure.
And they'll want to move it to a blank wall. And I'm like, are you sure? Me and Eric will tell them, are you sure you want to look at a wall? That's what I want. That's what you want? We'll give it to you.
Yeah. They don't want to put a mirror there.
Some people don't want to be seen doing dishes.
Le vamos a decir,
I don't blame them.
que ninguna cocina, todas las cocinas de los sueños de las personas, Allison Company las puede diseñar.
Whatever.
All right, Eric, translate, please.
Jesus is saying whatever. Chewy is saying whatever your dream kitchen is, we will get it done.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Allison Company, do it.
You'll tell. You can tell an Allison kitchen to other kitchens.
The other guys.
You're going to be able to tell.
See that quality.
Because of the quality's there.
Mm-hmm.
The quality will be there. The time, you'll see the passion, the tears, the sweat you put into that kitchen instead of just getting thrown together, G
was curious. I don't know why. I'm just curious. What's, like, do you have favorite materials or favorite things you like? Is there certain...
different, like, I have favorite colors I like to work with.
Okay.
Like the cabinet,
I didn't know.
like the cabinetry, like...
Yeah.
I love working with some different colors, but the countertops for me personally, it'd be quartz.
Okay, I was just curious. Like,
quartz
is more fun to play with, or I'm just from that perspective. I was just
personal
curious,
opinion. Quartz to me is, but granite's always. There's some granite colors like, ooh, maybe I'll switch over.
Granite's
quartz is harder to work with.
Yeah,
yeah, quartz is a little bit, so it's kind of more of a challenge for you. I'm guessing. Because you gotta, because let's face it, people that have quartz, they want granite look on quartz money. So you got to make that happen.
And I can give them that too.
And you make that happen, and that's the beauty of quartz. It's durable. It does good stuff, but you can create as fancy as you want. But at the same time, if you don't have the thousands of dollars it costs for the countertops, because you can easily blow your budget on a countertop.
Yeah, you can.
And so let out. And so if your budget's tight, maybe, and that's the other thing. We're talking the top stuff here. There's a lot of great quality materials that don't come with those price tags, that you'll get the durability and still the beauty you want. But it's okay. So it's not granite, but maybe maybe it's another material, Formica or some of these other lower cost, equally durable materials that they can.
And
use.
you have other companies. I'm not going to say in Roswell, but there's other companies that push quartz for various reasons, or they push granite for various reasons, and because it's easier to fabricate depending on which product it is.
Gotcha.
And they don't educate the customer, and it was totally wrong. And I've never seen a customer as mad as whenever they're educated wrong on a solid surface.
Because it's always an expensive fix.
Yeah.
When it comes to bathrooms and kitchens. That is when you make a mistake there, that's usually an expensive mistake. Mm-hmm. It is. So that's why you want to get it right the first time. That's why letting Eric and let Chewy, let these guys do their magic on you and talk to you and sit down. Let Eric sit down and go all over and draw the designs, get on the computer and move whatever where and colors to want, and then let these guys go there and execute.
And you can visualize it with Eric. Eric makes it a reality.
Sure.
And
the technology is really much more realistic. It's not like the early ones where it looked kind of like you're watching Bugs Bunny cartoons and you're like, oh, that's a chair. Now it actually looks like your kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like photos and VR stuff. The same technology that makes Donald Trump saying whatever over here is the same technology you're using to make your kitchen.
And he's good at it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He's real good at it. And we're blessed. All three of these guys and all of our guys were blessed to have them because they all have a certain aspect in the company of what they do, and they make it run smooth.
Well, I imagine all three of you are creative types, right? Like you like to create. Like you look at things and you see things. I imagine
yourself.
You know what I mean? Like I imagine in your own personal time, you're probably one of those guys that you'll look at something and say, I could make a table out of that, or I could do something with that. You know what I mean? So this is what you guys live for and what you enjoy, your passion. So let that go, and at some point your family's probably telling, all right, that's enough, man. You've done enough of this, and so you're like, I will do it for the community. So here we are.
What's good too is like Eric designs. Like I'll go out a lot of times with the guys, and we'll do the layout.
Yeah.
And I'll catch something, or the guys will catch something. So there's a bunch of hands, and usually Eric's with us on the first day too. So we got 3 people looking at a project. And if there's a mistake, we're usually going to catch it.
Sure. It's a 3-headed monster. Or in this case, a 3-headed professor looking at it.
Because you make a mistake, if it's one guy, you're going to make a mistake.
Sure. Well, and let's face it, everything, I mean, yes, you're talking precision and functionality, but you're also talking aesthetics and opinion.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I'm sure there's 4 of you here. All 4 of you like different things. All 4 of you are going to think that, imagine you're going to look at something and 2 of you might think that's pretty, 2 of you might think that's god-awful, or vice versa. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. But then you have the thing, and then you argue like, I get what your point is, but when you put it with that, then it works. You know what I mean? And that's the conversations you guys are having.
Yeah.
So, and to be honest, I've watched enough of those HGTV shows and stuff that that's where those arguments, like, okay, I know this is not the rule, but when you apply it this way and you bend the rule, it does work here. And that's where you guys get into the design phase. And it's like, okay, we can take the rules. Once you know the rules, then you can bend them at your will. Art is like that. And design is very much like that too. Certain colors aren't supposed to go together, but I can make them go together if you do it this way.
Yep.
And that's where the design and the creating, and quite frankly, probably the fun part for you guys is creating that challenge, is telling people, it's no different than chefs. And they're like, you should not put chocolate on a steak. And one chef's going, hold my beer. I'm going to get chocolate on this steak, and you're going to lick it off in the butt. And it's no different here, And so that's so come put it to the test. Come check it out. Come tour. Come, and by the way, if you still need carpet or tile or any of that kind of stuff,
we got you.
They got you covered. Come on in. But if you're looking for other aspects of the home, Or let's face it, you're ready to do the addition or thinking, hey, I'm going to add on here. I need the material. Come on down. Talk to Allison.
And we got financing now.
Good deal.
We'll get you financed in 10 minutes,
That's
up
right.
to 100,000.
That's right. So they got guys in the back. They're like I'm just kidding. They're mafia
Bam.
guys. They lump. I'm just kidding. You don't pay it, they send them out. I'm kidding.
we have a joke at the store. Eric goes,
you got the VIG. They start using terms like VIG, and you're like, what? Just kidding.
it's important that the financing. I wanted to bring that up today too, because people come in and say they have a budget for $30,000, which we can do a kitchen, even a big kitchen. In that we have the options.
Sure, you get creative, but it can be done. Yeah.
But then they're like, you know what? I want to go ahead in the middle of the remodel. They're like, I want to go ahead and I want to repaint the house, and I want to go ahead and redo the floors. And that loan that we have, you can use it for anything.
Okay.
So if you want to paint, it's not just material. So that's a big deal.
Absolutely. And again, like I mentioned earlier, all of that is technically an investment back in you.
Yep.
Because everything we're talking about here, you're going to get back whenever you sell that home.
Oh yeah.
And it's really good financing. A lot of it's 0%. It's insane.
Absolutely. Yeah, and in a world where 0% is still kind of a unicornish, that's pretty. You know what I mean? Like once COVID hit, 0% went what? Zero what? Yeah, zero chance of getting that.
We're excited about it.
And now it's starting to trickle back into the world again, and so it's good news to see that. So good. Is there anything we missed? I just saw the time. We were about to kick me off the radio here. Is there anything?
Chewy, just to tell me how many years you have an experience of doing cabinetry.
10 years.
10 years?
More, yeah.
Wow.
10, 12 years. Solid cabinet and granite too.
What's like? Do you have a favorite type of material to work with yourself? Do you like? Is there any preference?
He's working.
Okay.
Everything company.
I don't know if there's certain woods and things you're like, I want to.
Maple wood, all the same.
Come home, his hands all splintered up. Smooth wood.
Depends. The customer is having the cabinet to do it.
Yeah. So come on and come. And you know what? If you come to the house and he doesn't eat much, so you don't have to give him a sandwich or nothing.
If I show up, that's a whole different story.
Eric's like, you better put a spread out. That's all I'm saying.
And the granite too is different. Look, the little sample for the granite or the quartz and little sample and pictures. So it's different. Look at the big slab.
Sure.
So the customer is going to look at the slab. They have the colors. The cabinet. Put and the big slab is make the same or match. The colors is looking more better. So
and that's where kind of, like you said, we get back with Eric.
Yeah.
Because now you can look at it virtually before you guys have it up on the wall, and they're like, oh, wait. Yeah.
We want to make sure they match before we go in there. And
Exactly. So please, let the experience start the process today, or ask some questions, and let's get the ball rolling.
Yep.
But and I'm going to tell you this right now. When it comes to construction, if you need construction, now's the time to do it. If you're going to try to wait and pick and plot, it's kind of like if you need a house. If you need a house, you need a house. If you're trying to wait for interest rates to drop, you're going to wait a while. You know what I mean? So if you've been like, well, I'm waiting on this to pull the gun. You know what? There's always going to be something that hurts. And to be honest, it's not going to get cheaper. It's just the life.
Yep.
The cost of granite, the cost of these things are never going to get cheaper over time. They're always going to constantly. So if you're waiting for the right time, the right time's now.
Yep.
Go ahead and start doing that because you need it now. So don't wait. If you're waiting for, I get it. If you're like, well, I'm waiting for tax season. Okay, I get it. You're waiting for a return, and let's talk about that. But if you're waiting for times to change, then you're going to be holding the bag. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's like if you look back every 6 months for 3 years, it's been that way.
Absolutely. And it's going to, that is the procrastinator's best excuse to not do things. To just say, I'm waiting for the right season. Yeah. You're going to be waiting a while. I'm waiting for it to be sunny and 75 before I venture outdoors. Well, guess what? Welcome to your new place you're living here.
Then you got wind.
Yeah. But there's so thank you guys.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Sorry, I tried to drag it out, but you guys got to go back out there and start working now. Sorry about that.
We're excited. We're ready.
Thank you guys. We'll see y'all next time.
All right,
Thank you.
All right, it is 9:58. Let's do quick news before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
And now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Artesia General Hospital recently implemented Mindray medical monitors throughout the hospital with the goal of improving patient safety and observability. The monitors can track a range of vital signs like heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, respiratory rate, and your temperature. They play a critical role in the healthcare setting and provide accurate real-time data that clinicians need to make informed decisions. By providing continuous real-time data, these new Mindray monitors ensure that healthcare providers can swiftly respond to any changes in a patient's condition. A New Mexico judge has ordered the armorer for the Alec Baldwin movie Rust to remain in prison despite evidence uncovered during Baldwin's trial. Armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed asked a court to reconsider her involuntary manslaughter conviction after the criminal case against Baldwin was thrown out, after prosecutors withheld evidence from the defense. Judge Mary Marlowe Sommer halted and ended Baldwin's trial in July based on misconduct of police and prosecutors and their withholding evidence from the defense in the 2021 shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set outside Santa Fe. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The death toll from a lean across the U.S. Southeast has reached over 130. Officials worry it will rise further. President Biden plans to survey the area on Wednesday. Asheville, North Carolina resident Carrie Owenby says their number one need is clean water.
We can pretty much survive on everything else, but not having water is really worrisome. We've been gathering water to flush our toilets, kind of wash our dishes, but drinking water is getting low.
Forecasters are keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Kirk in the Atlantic. Kirk not expected to threaten the U.S.
No contract, no work. No contract.
Striking union dock workers chanting no contract, no work on the picket line at the Port of Houston in Texas. From Maine to Texas,